It's like a pizza crunch without the batter. It's like the work just without the water. You never get the knickers off of fucking chance. Premeditated batter. Premeditated batter.
Bang on, mate, good idea, I know, because the amount of times I've watched cunts talking same sort of scenario with no mics.
Aye.
And there's one you can hear and one you can't, and it does your fucking boxing.
That's what we done at the start. The very first podcast I done was with Melrose.
I watched it,
Aye,
watched the first one.
and we done that, and I think we get the sound off a fucking GoPro, and we just had a condenser mic in the middle of the thing, mate. And see, with a podcast, you need the equipment. You need the equipment, but it's pricey. I've spent a good fair bit of this, and I've not even get the best equipment. So see, you get the best equipment, you're talking into the thousands, man.
A lot of fucking money, man.
It's no cheap. See if you're just doing it off your own back, but it's, you know yourself. You see if you're passionate about it, you're happy to put that money into it.
Okay, fuck aye, man.
It's not a big ask if it's for good reasons, you know what I mean?
Exactly, mate. I've made enough money in my life, and that's never fucking pleased me. But see, doing this, it's like I'll put more money into this. I know this is me finished.
Therapeutic, mate. Know what I mean? Fucking exercise your own demons as well as seeing other cunts and all the rest
that's it, mate.
Exercise your own demons whilst taking on other people's.
Exactly. Well, being burdened with every cunt else's fucking problems.
Well, that's why I've got a therapist couch in the fucking lounger, mate.
That's how I brought a spare, so I don't need to lie on it.
You don't need to lie. Well, you can put your legs across them, know what I mean? I get a bit homoerotic there, innit?
Not be the first time, not be the last, know what I mean?
So how's things anyway?
Good, mate. Good, man. Fucking, I was struck with the COVID bad, so I'm just starting to get back on my feet after about 4 months or something like that.
Oh, really? When did you get COVID?
About 4 months ago, man.
But so was it long COVID you had?
Fucked with it, mate. Big time. Aye. I mean, I'm not even kidding, just the last week that's me starting to...
So you starting to feel yourself getting back to your normal self?
The tiredness is starting to go away. I was that way, I couldn't walk to the shop and back without fucking falling asleep for half an hour. Like, see that gig you came to?
Aye.
I'm still feeling it then. See, after that,
aye,
that must have just been adrenaline. I was in my bed for about 2 days after it.
What do you?
So that was the most activity I'd done in months. Know what I mean?
Fucking hell, man.
When they said a gig and I went, fuck knows, and next time I gotta get to play one of them if all this shit shuts down again and whatever else.
Aye,
so
take it whilst you can.
done it, and then fortnight in it, next day, mate, felt as though I'd 10 rounds with Mike Tyson, know what I mean? I was fucked.
Fuck, that was you sober and all, man. Maybe you're seeing your staying off it, fuck's sake, Freud. You don't have a worse hangover than I did.
Oh, fine.
For that reason, because drinking with that shit is...
Oh, no, that wiped you out, man.
Tried that, wee boy in my work, remember? The boy in fucking down at the beach. And he said, if you get it, it's a 4 I got it. If you get it, alcohol cures it. And I was like, I ain't bother, cool excuse to get pissed. Drank a full bottle of bourbon, mate, woke up the next day. Fucking
with a hangover and a feeling of having been lied to.
Aye.
Which was the deceit of the dehydration.
I felt as though I'd been lied on by a fucking truck or something, man.
The betrayal of bourbon.
In hindsight, we probably should have known, because that was his cure for COVID and for a cold and for...
Aye, the boy mentioned Bevy about five times in the space of an hour, and I just met him. Know what I mean?
Aye, then you're like, heck, wait a minute, maybe this cunt's just an alcoholic.
Aye, pretty much, aye.
You don't fix that. Is it Bevy? It's Bevy.
You know you're
too mad with me, I know we could fix that. More Bevy.
Aye, that's it. I'm sober, mate. That'll drive you to drink. You know what I mean? There you go. But aye, that was the thing, but I think in my mind I knew it was full of shit. I just wanted to get pissed, so I went, fuck it.
That's what I was about to say, you know what I mean? It's like you probably thought, oh, well, there's an excuse to go on it.
Fucking, and see, cause I'd had the COVID for a while at the time before I tried this, I hadn't been smoking either, because obviously that just fucking weighs you down, I know what I mean? So no smoking, no drinking, being as healthy as I could, bottle of bourbon, boom, tanned it, and even if I didn't have fuck all, I'd have been fucked the next day regardless, know what I mean?
Full bottle of bourbon. You notice that, seeing you stay off like the drugs or the drinking, that kind of stuff, it wipes you out twice as bad.
Even just for a wee while, mate, and then that's you, boom, right back to zero again, pretty much.
Aye, cause see, I've noticed, it's like, see, I mean, we eat healthy and that as well, see if I'm eating pure shite, smoking green and all that shit, I'll not really feel much worse. But see if I stay off it on, eat right, and then I'll maybe eat a lot of shit one night or that, the next day I'm fucked.
You feel it, even a takeaway, it doesn't even need to be smoking, drinking, whatever else, even just a takeaway if you've been eating healthy and got to the gym and that. One night, a cheat day or whatever the fuck you call it, wake up the next day, you don't feel the same.
Aye, it fucks you right up, man.
Just shows you, but if you're doing that every day and no feeling any worse for it, how bad are you? You know what I mean?
Aye, it takes you for you come off it, and you realise, well, wait a fucking minute, I must have been bad.
Exactly.
I wake up.
The shine off your morning. How you feeling today? Oh, not hungover. That's because you're more fucked than I am. Rubbish.
That's it. You go for going out all night getting steaming and thinking nothing in it. Half a wee while, 1 pint, you're half mad bit, and you're like, oh, hang on a minute, I must have been fucking drinking far too much if I was going out partying all night and then brand new in it. No, brand new, but you know what I mean? Up, work, whatever, who cares?
Right, well, I noticed that, see, because I don't really drink as much anymore, but so see at the weekend, when, see if I end up going out, one night or some shit like that, man, I'm fucked for about a week. But it's constant day every weekend in the Monday and all that shit.
Every night, mate.
You must build up, your body must just build up a fucking tolerance there. I think your brain must just be like, right, fuck it, this cunt's not going to stop no matter how bad it gets. I may as well just try and make it easier for him.
That's it,
It's the
man.
soldiering on. It's just that I refuse to feel as bad as I should because I'll just never
Aye.
never get anything done.
Exactly, man. And it's like, see if you end up if I do like a fucking night on a Charlie or something, man, or like drinking that, mate, I've made a good week. I'm not doing none of that shit. I'm pulling. I've not got a telly in my bedroom. My telly in my living room's getting dragged into the bedroom. Curtains are getting shut, pure door locked and all that shit, man.
Putting it on its side, so you don't have to sit upright. You can just lie.
Like, so I don't need to crane my neck. Aye, it's pure vampire mode in full effect.
Fuck aye, man.
But aye, so how's obviously you come for the same bit as me, didn't you, Cardano, didn't it?
Aye, mate. Well, born here originally in Govan.
born
and
in
then
Govan, born and bred.
Started moving that way and stopped when we got too close to Paisley. You know what I mean? Basically, you know what I mean? Went from Govan to fucking Craigton to the Mosses to Redpath to Penally, and then that was it. You know what I
Aye,
mean?
Penalties where you kind of draw the line in it. Because you've got the farm there, innit? If you move any further, you're outcast, you're leaving Glasgow.
You're in Paisley, mate. That's the thing. See, I remember going up to Toon when I was young. I used to play basketball in Easterhouse.
Aye.
And 14, 15-year-old, mate, consider, who's this? Know what I mean? Nah, I'm just here to play basketball, mate. Where you fae? Penally, where's that? Next to Paisley. Off. when he bat a fucking island.
Aye, if you said Govan, it'd have been a bit of trouble, but
Probably. But you know what, you say anywhere like that and it pays like, you've no stabbed me, cunt. I know, you know what I mean? It's fucking, who cares?
aye, fucking madness, man. So obviously, how did you end up getting back into the RAM? Obviously, you started at a young age, didn't you?
I was, what, 19, 20, 2002, aye. So either 19 or 20.
Oh, really? Aye. So what was that when you were staying Penally?
Aye, mate. Aye. I mean, I've been out now for 11 and a half years. So I still stayed there. I was
But out of Glasgow?
out of Glasgow to Penally.
Aye.
Aye. Fucking 28 I moved out of there.
20, oh, you were 28?
28.
What year was that?
Aye.
2010?
2010.
Aye.
2010. So went to Edinburgh for, I think it was a battle event or something.
And never left.
And never left. Aye, pretty fucking much. That's,
Pack my shit, I'm coming back.
that's the joke, mate. Went to play a gig, never came home, know what I mean? So, nah, for the first couple of years I was backing forward. That way you're you're institutionalised and you're going, I can't really stay here, can I?
Aye.
This isn't going to work. And then the more you go and you just think, fuck it, why not? Know what I mean?
That's a wee change of scenery. Something when you do go through to Edinburgh, it's like the next tune phase basically, but you do, it's fucking...
Mate, it's Disneyland compared to... don't get me wrong, I don't mean the full of Edinburgh, I'm sure you stay certain places or whatever, but I didn't move from a scheme to a scheme, I moved to the town centre.
Aye.
So to me that's Candyland, know what I mean?
I've been up there a few times, man, and it's cultural as fuck.
Fuck aye, man.
It's
Aye.
mad. It's like, seeing you compare it to Glasgow town, and you go up to Glasgow town, it's kind of cultural, but it's quite got the scumminess to it as well. But Edinburgh's a lot more tarted up.
You've still got to where you fae. You ask that in Edinburgh and it's Zimbabwe or some shit like that. Know what I mean? So,
You can walk whole streets in Edinburgh and not hear Scottish accents.
Aye.
I mean, it's very multi.
The only thing about Edinburgh, man, see when you stay in Glasgow your life and you go to Edinburgh, you need to watch out for the fucking trams.
oh mate, they things are the bane of my fucking life anyway. Everywhere I've seemed to stay since I moved there for 10 years, the things have followed me, the roadworks. So I wake up to them fucking drilling every
so
morning.
they're actually trying to fucking build the line.
Sometimes it can be within weeks. You'll move somewhere, total peace and quiet, and you'll phone me about a week later, like, guess what? And I'll just hear in the back going,
Like bastards are following me, I swear to God. Even when I've been doing to Leaf, they weren't even planning on doing it down there, and then I saw an announcement in the news, I had to go start, but I went, you dirty fucking bastards, man, I'm never going to get a decent sleep.
So they date off for the schemes and that then?
No, the scheme's not for the tune, so
Aye, so
I've always stayed town centre-ish.
Right, so
know what I mean?
sorry.
But I've had a bunch of gaffs on about the town centre, and obviously the sort of way I've moved every time I've went somewhere, they've just finished the bit I was at, and now they're starting on the new bit I've went to, you know what I mean? So it's
If
like
you
a
move to
fucking
get away from the noise and all.
cruel joke, you know what I mean? No, the main thing is, mate, you move through there 'cause it's just too dear and nothing lasts. Like leases don't last.
Oh,
you can't
I see.
rent a gaff, you're talking $1,000, more than that a month.
Aye, it's
you know what I
insane,
mean?
especially
So
in the town centre.
rooms or people you know, a bunch of cunts get a house together or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's
Oh,
a good way to live if you've no attachments.
Aye, that's it, especially in case you do get sick of staying in the same house. Plus, if you're through Edinburgh anyway, you're all out the way. It's not as if you can get fucking homesick because you're fucking.
Nah, it's city that never sleeps or not. There's always something to do, night and day. Fuck aye, man. It wasn't until this pandemic that I started fucking reintroducing myself to the world. Because see, since I moved there 10 years ago, I could tell you fuck all about entertainment or nothing that's happened in the world. Politics, don't know. Too busy having fun.
What kind of stuff you get up to?
Just getting out, having a laugh, playing gigs, got to different things like that. I'm not a bunch of eclectic people, you know what I mean? So it's all, that's the thing about it, every country's somewhere different. It's like a sort of wee place for runaways for everywhere else, you know what I mean? As a country didn't like it where they're for end up staying there. So everybody's cool that way, even though you're from Glasgow, you're obviously not from here. So you might as well be from Venezuela as far as these countries are concerned.
To be honest, if you're from Glasgow, I doubt it's the most odd place somebody's from, you know what I mean? If you're Glasgow, right, you're basically next door, all there's people.
You think so, mate? You open your mouth in a pub and every country, you have people ordering drinks in French and Japanese and fuck knows what else, and I'm like, he's a Jack and Coke, mate. Every eye in it. The fuck?
Really?
Oh, aye, believe me.
I mean, not everywhere, and it's not always a bad reaction, but you do.
It's rarely bad, but you just get
folk notice, you know.
Oh, I suppose, because there's that old fucking kind of rivalry between like Glaswegians and Edinburghers in it, man.
It's the tone, mate. It's the tone, because even though I've lost mine a hell of a lot, because that's the first thing to go. Like, I don't say their words, like I don't say ken and like and all that kind of stuff. I've not picked up any lingo, but the tone you can't help but change it, because you need to meet a cunt on his level, or else you need to repeat yourself every 2 seconds.
Just naturally, it makes a difference, because being Glaswegian, you are more monotone, whereas Edinburgh folk are right singy, eh?
They are.
So as soon as you go that
voice.
It's a lot more melodic. As soon as you go that fucking straightforward thing, you just see everybody turning like, what the fuck, but it's not a big, it's not as if they're like, fuck you, get out.
The decibels in this pub's changed quite quickly, you know what I mean? It's like almost like a survival response, like, what the fuck was that, who said that?
Hurry up, buy some kind of drink, tell them you're nice, you know what I mean? So this doesn't turn into a
It's like in Train Spotting, you ever seen when the fucking Canadian cunt walks in the pub and they hear his mad Canadian accent, they just like, I couldn't get off, it must be the same kind of thing, just a pure head turner.
Exactly, but it's like something out of a movie, the fuck can't stop playing pool and the music stops and the fucking...
Fuck, a tumbler hits the ground, smashes.
Exactly,
No, you need to be in the camera shot, man.
It's too comfy in here, mate. Fucking horrible outside, and come in here and I'm nice and cosy.
Nice and toasty, mate. Fuck's sake, you'll be moved back through here in no time, man.
Aye, for the weather.
Banging weather in Edinburgh, though. It's another big difference between the two cities.
Oh, was it? What was it like your day?
Either that, I've got the worst luck in the world, mate. It happens all the time, honestly.
Almost every
The rain and the tram lines for you as well.
Aye, the fucking it's that black cloud on my head. Nah, I'm kidding.
Trams and rain.
But it was when we were going by the castle, I was like, fucking hell, sun splitting the trees. Go here, push the rain.
Because I didn't realise, because I seen it looked a bit wet. You can see it in the window, it's been streaky and that. But as soon as I walked out, I was like, fucking hell. And then when I came back, man, I was only out for fucking 5 minutes and I was drenched. Typical Govan weather, man. It's just a pure dark cloud, as you say.
Okay, it'll be the same over there. It was just the timing was as soon as it started going, it started travelling in this direction with us, and I went, oh fuck, here we go.
Aye. Plus the underground as well, because you're going down underground, you don't see it until you come back out and you just walk into Govan. It's like it's not exactly a fucking postcard scenery, is it, man? The fucking bus station pissing the rain. Suppose, but it sums up Govan, doesn't it?
But mate, I tell you, man, I tried to phone you for the tube.
Aye.
And I was like, fuck, of course, fuck's sake, no reception. It's been that long since I've been on one that I didn't even remember.
Because I was cracking up with my phone, because see, it's weird, sometimes I'll be out and about, my phone will just go, no signal, or let's see if I'm on my Instagram or something. Like, no internet connection, I'm like, right, what's going on here? And I'll need to go in airplane mode for like 10 seconds and just reset it and that. So when I was trying to phone the two of you and then you were answering, it was cutting off, I was like, right, how are they able to answer? Because it's quite shite for a signal in here. But you're sorry, I was like, right, how the fuck did I hear them at first then?
Well, it was weird when it stopped at a stop. You get signal back for a second, then when it started moving again.
Aye.
No, I mean, I think you phoned just as the signal came on, and I was like, alright, mate, and then I heard again.
There's actually
So he's got to hang, I'm winding him up, keep phoning and fucking hanging up.
Prank caller!
We're just sitting there going,
Was this cunt rapping on the phone to me? Fuck, he's dynamite, man. But obviously you said you started rapping fucking, what was it, when you were...
2002 I started writing, but I'd never said anything out loud. You know what I mean? It was just all...
What was it kind of inspired you to start doing that?
Fucking life, mate. You ask any cunt that knows me, I've been telling them for the day the day I heard tip-hop, one of us should do it. But I never said one of us, I said one of yous. One of you should do it, one of you should do it, one of you should do it. And then eventually I went, fucking hell, why do I not just do it? I think I wrote a song for a laugh, a song. my mates were playing guitars and that, and I can't do any instruments or nothing. And none of them could sing or didn't want to, and I went, Jesus Christ, put a fucking song out already, you've been playing the same tune for a month, you know what I mean? I went, I'll do it. Went home, wrote, and then after a while I was like, you know what, I've got a knack for this. And I've been thinking for years and years, literally since I was away, and if some cunt from Glasgow had done the hip hop thing. Because I remember telling my mates, like, that's us. You know what I mean? What he's listening to fucking Stone Roses for? But don't get me wrong, so did I, but what you only listening to that for? You should be listening to rap, and all rap talks about more or less the way we live.
That's a lot more personal, I think, with that.
But you know what I mean? You grow up in a scheme, you grow up a certain way. There's so many correlations to the way black Americans grow up. There really is. You know what I mean? You take the race away, it's the same poverty, it's the same
100%.
lot of the same lingo, know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? It's all the same shit, know what I mean? I just said it there, know what I mean?
There you go.
They say it all the time, know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? You get the same wee ticks, the same, even in language it becomes the same. So there's so many different things that I went, some cunt for fucking here should do that, because one thing we've got on our side's party. Know what I mean?
That's it, is we've got a natural wit, because you don't realise, you take it for granted. Not until you leave like Glasgow and go to other places and you're like, fucking, I don't know, down to England and shit like that.
Can't get a laugh.
I know, they can't get part and you're like, well, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Exactly, man. So make the medium a rap, what better? Who better to do it than us?
Exactly, mate, exactly. We're natural raconteurs, so I know.
Fucking right. It just got to that point where I went, fuck it, I'm going to do it, and started. And again, just instantly, it's one of the things I tell, can't see if this required any effort on my part. I'm not being big-headed because I'm not saying I'm good, but if anybody thinks I'm good in any way at all, it required no effort, because if it did, I wouldn't fucking do it. Honestly, I don't care about it that much to be like, I really want to be good at this. I just, fuck, I've got a knack for this. Because again, I've been thinking about it for so long. It just sort of came natural.
The seed was already planted, but that time it kind of grown.
Exactly. I mean, I knew what I wanted to say and how I wanted to do it and all the rest of it, because I'd always thought about it from a fan's perspective. If some cunt done this, it'd be the best thing. You know what I mean? I used to say to my mates, fucking hell, the stories you cunt could tell, would you know, fucking write that down for and rap. You know what I mean? So
that's what I was going to ask you. So see the first time you says you wrote a tune, was it a tune of a guitar?
That was for boys I knew who stayed a couple of streets away from me, and I'd go around and see them hang about, and they'd be playing guitars, and eventually I went, well, I can't do any music, and I'll write a song for you to go with your music. And they're just starting to sing it, and that was fucking weird American accent came at me or something, you know what I mean? I'm like, I can't do this, this is no for me, but I like the writing part of it. Cause I was like, I've got a fucking knack for that, definitely. So then put two and two together, holy shit, I've been talking about doing hip hop my whole life, or some cunt else should. Why no me? And it just took me, I was 19 to figure out that it was going to be me.
So what was it when you started? Because that's what I wanted to ask you about. Because obviously I noticed obviously in bands and that kind of stuff, and you don't really see many other people that see doing rap, especially Scottish people, take like a guitar or that, it's all kind of beats. And I always wondered that, but obviously it makes sense saying that was the very first time you done it to a guitar.
Well, I mean, music taste, rap's no bottom of the pile, but it's down there for me, you know what I mean? There's so many other types of music and that I would do. See, if I had wrote that song and I was an amazing singer, you never have heard a fucking rap tune with me. That wasn't.
Play to your strengths, innit?
Well, that's it, innit? And the thing is, it comes easier, and again, the justification for me telling other cunts, mate, we've got part, or we could rap no bollocks. I'm like, well, I fucking take your own advice, you know what I mean? But that was the thing is, musically, I like other styles of music far more than I like hip hop.
Aye.
So,
what kind of hard music into?
I grew up on gangster rap, obviously, because that was the era I grew up in.
Aye.
But grunge, mate, grunge music's
But Nirvana and
my
that?
favourite music. Nirvana, my favourite band. I wouldn't say they were the best band ever, but my favourite because of when I grew up. Time
Pixies
period.
and that, they're grunge, aren't they?
Pixies were pre-grunge, but same sort of shit. Alternate, well, like fuck, you know what I mean? It's
There's
all
that many fucking genres in it, man.
it's
You
all
get lost,
alternative. It was all a big rebellion against hair metal and all that shit. You know what I mean? So all that shit. Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam, fuck Cranberries. A lot of cunts don't realise the Cranberries are a grunge band.
Are they? Aye.
Fuck aye, man.
Right enough. And his name is it Zombie? That tune they do.
Zombie's
That's
a
a
great
cafe
song.
grungy tune. You think it?
Great
Aye.
song, man. Aye, they had a bunch of grungy albums, like full albums that were all kind of grunge, you know what I mean? R.E.M. done some shit that was sounded kind of grungy. They all started gravitating towards it in the mid 90s when it became the biggest thing in the world, you know what I mean? So aye, that was my main. But obviously growing up, fuck's it, before you even get to that, I would probably been about 8, 9 when I started getting into my own music. You know, like watching the music channels early on a Saturday morning, they have these shows when it was a wee videotape that used to get into the fucking video. Maybe you're too young.
I think I'm a bit too
showing my age
short
now.
in the tooth for that.
Showing my age now, but it was the wee video tape that used to get into the video player, and then they'd play. It was like MTV, but we never had MTV, but they did these shows that lasted an hour or two.
Right.
And that was me at the age of 8, 9, fascinated. Remember first time I seen The Word, that was me fascinated. You ever heard of that?
The Word, what was the Word again?
Word was a show on Channel 4 from Manchester with Terry Christensen and Danny Bear.
Was it the one they
Mark
used to
Lamar.
get, I'll date to get famous, and they'd be
That's
like
the one.
fat cunts belly buttons and all that shit? That was fucking disgusting, but
That's the one. See for music, mate.
That wasn't the highlight of it. Do you remember? I remember the mingingest bit.
But that's what every cunt remembers. That's what every cunt remembers. They cunt sat in the bath full of beans and all. It was minging. Some of the things they had to do.
See, because it was a documentary I watched, because I vaguely remember the Word, but I might have just been too young just as it fucking get taken
Well,
off air.
1990, so I was only 8.
Well, I was 92, so I wasn't even born, so I'm
That's
full
what
of
I'm
shit.
saying, that's what I'm
But I
saying.
seen it was like a documentary, and it was like fucking... It was basically going through the 90s, like the best decade, and that was obviously talking about Oasis and all that stuff, and the Word and how that was pivotal and all that kind of stuff.
It was me. I was in education, that show, man. Like, first time I saw Nirvana, no live in person.
That was it,
obviously.
Nirvana, because Nirvana was on it. Then
Bunch
there
smells
was
like
some
Teen
band
Spirit.
that was like a bird pulled their trousers down and played live.
Aye, fuck, who were they called?
She was a fan out and everything. I can't remember what it was. She pulled her trousers just...
It wasn't
she was
Pussy
playing.
Riot, would it? I've been Pussy Riot back then, it wouldn't have been it, no. That's far too long ago. But fuck knows, I know what you're talking about, but I remember that. But shit like that happened every week.
Aye.
So as a way, 8-year-olds are going, I get see tits, brilliant, you know what I mean? But the bigger side of it was the music.
Aye.
You had the Stone Roses on it, the Charlatans, all these great bands. Oasis's first ever performance on TV was on the book.
Aye.
So,
Aye, Supersonic he played on that, wasn't it?
so it was.
So I remember my pal's brother-in-law, he was a mad Oasis fan. He says he was lying rough in his bed, and he was mad for the Stone Roses. And I don't know if the Stone Roses did kind of split up at this point or whatever happened. Lying in his bed rough, and they had the telly on it, and it was Oasis that came on playing Supersonic at that, and it was like, who the fuck are these cunts? And that's what just got right into them. But it was the Word that was on, so they're obviously responsible for a lot of people getting into Oasis at the early stages.
Fuck, I think if you're around about my age, you know what I mean? Because as a lane 8-year-old, I used to go and stay with my grandparents, and they'd be in their bed, in their room for 7 at night because they were all sleeping, and I'd be in the living room with the telly. And in 1990, that's all you fucking had.
Aye.
You know what I mean? You weren't scrolling through fuck all
Facebook
besides a
and all that
magazine.
shit. Sliding in the DMs and all that shit. That was fucking
None
a
of
long time
that.
before that happened.
None of that shit, man. So getting to stay up and watch the Word, it was usually the Word, and then you had Eurotrash after that.
Aye.
So Friday night TV for a Wayne was Christmas.
Aye.
So that was an education for me musically, watching that show and getting to hear all these different bands and all the rest of the shit. And I was just everything for that time period. I was just right in. You know what I mean? So musically, I love hip hop. Obviously, fucking bit stupid if I didn't.
Aye.
You know what I mean? But it's no my
That's not the
thing.
be all and end all. You're not fucking 100% focused on it kind of stuff. Because you see a lot of people right now, because it's that drill kind of sound. That's kind of what's like the main thing, you know. And you see a lot of people, I think it's like that's all they kind of listen to.
Aye, that's a very Moorish kind of thing, but there's a whole culture that comes with that. Now it's like with drill culture. It's no hip hop. We don't listen to hip hop. We listen to drill, like you say. It's very they're in their lane and that's it.
Aye,
you know what I mean?
aye. But it's always good to you kind of go wrong having a diverse music taste and see listening to as much stuff you can, because there's a lot of bands that are amazing that you've no heard of that are like, and that's the beauty of the internet, because you can just go on YouTube and find these cunts. See
For the
somebody telling
past,
you my band.
should you go fuck? I missed this when I was away. And how did I miss this?
Exactly. But it's like, see, back in the day, see if you missed it, you missed it. Unless it was a fucking repeat.
Yeah, and you weren't
Or
getting it
somebody-
again,
or
and they
somebody turned
weren't
up.
re-releasing none of this shit.
Aye, that's it, 100%, man. So, see, when you started off, obviously, you were writing like tunes on the guitar and that kind of stuff. At what point did you start? Did you always stick to that kind of formula?
No, I say that was the first and the last.
Oh, was it? Aye.
I think I maybe wrote 4 or 5 songs and only done the one with them. And when I done one, I made it's one of the ones instantly. Nah, that's it, nah. You can keep the fucking lyrics if you want. And get some kind of else. To
How
sing.
long after it was did you hear that for? Was it quite quick?
Oh, I think halfway through the song or something. maybe no even that.
So you know what to do, like, I'm quite good at this, and you started singing it out, like, fuck this.
Well, I wrote it down and went, I got a knack for writing songs here. I think anyway, went round and went, right, in my head, this is how it sounds.
This isn't it.
Oh, I halfway through doing it out loud, and I was like, oh, hang on a minute, man. No, I'm no Freddie Mercury, you know what I mean? No happening. So I eventually, but again, I'd got the bug for the writing. So I think I'd maybe wrote 4 or 5 different songs. It was one of them. It was fast. Boom, boom,
I
boom,
just
boom,
came off
boom.
the tongue.
And that's how I'm saying it's no. I'm not like, oh, this requires no effort for me. I'm just saying if it did,
Aye, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing now.
any perceived talent I might have is definitely God given. It wasn't worked for. You know what I mean?
But Sonny Govan? Where do you work again? Oh, right. Oh, the events, what, like freed up and that? Stairs are a killer, aren't they, man? It's hot in here, see when you come up the stairs and it's like a marathon, then you come in here and it's pure heat. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake, man.
I want to fall asleep a second, that's that.
That would have made a good champ.
I know. This is where you get the coffee,
Least offensive
innit?
you've ever been.
So you probably get more cunts watching it if I was sleeping.
Aye, it's like, see, I was talking about I was coming off night shift there. So what was it? I finished night shift. I worked Monday night into Tuesday morning, finished at 6 and slept till like 2. But I went to like boxing last night, so I was fucked. Got home, I went to my bed about 11, fell asleep, woke up 1 o'clock, wide awake. That's that way you're up, but you're not up, you're still lying in bed, but you know you're not getting back to sleep.
Adrenaline off, you've been training, know what I mean?
Aye, but I was bushwhacked, man, and I ate a big pizza after it and all that, so I ate a lot of carbs, so I get home, I was trying to read my book and I just fell asleep. But I woke up at 1, so, and then about 3 I was like, fuck it, I'm getting up, so I got him, I done like a wee mini podcast, between me just talking shit. I just done that and uploaded that for the night. And then I was like, I make myself busy, productive. And I had like a kind of big breakfast. So I felt a bit, right, I could lie down again. So I went and lay down and it was like about 7, 8. I fell asleep till like 10. So I got my 2 hours. I've had about 3 hours sleep. But I feel much more rejuvenated and refreshed. Thank fuck, man. See if you're up for like the early hours, like you're saying yourself, man. You're just like,
yeah, I saw your text that earlier. I was like, oh fuck, he's keen, man.
Aye, mate, because I was still up. Because I was like, I wanted to message you before I fell asleep. Because I didn't want to fall asleep and then, in case like just one of the ones you're waiting me to message me, because some people think if I've no messaged them then they've not to come.
Oh, I know, I knew that anyway. I was the opposite. I got to about 5 in the morning and went, oh, no fucking point in falling asleep now, you know what I mean?
So have you been up straight through?
I was up, mate. I was up, do you know that, did you watch any sort of TV shows or that you?
Aye.
You seen that BMF?
No.
About the Black Mafia family, do you know who they are?
No.
No, you never heard of the Black Mafia family? Oh, mate, that's a documentary then. You shouldn't even watch the show, you should watch a real documentary.
What's that one?
I think you just go to YouTube, just put BMF documentary. But these were some fucking nutty cunts, mate. 2 brothers out of Detroit in like the late 80s.
Aye.
Started selling crack in their teens. By the millennium, they were supplying them 3/4 of the country with coke.
Oh, really?
Because they had a pipeline to the Mexicans and they can't else did. None of the black dealers did anyway. I think they were the only black boys that had a fucking connection right to Mexico.
Can you mind their names, the dealers?
What is it? Big Meech Flannery or something like that. And his brother, what was his brother's name? Fuck, I just watched Hanging On.
It's no that. It's no the thing that Paid in Full's based on. You ever seen that?
No, I don't think Paid in Full's based on that, but I think it's the same sort of
similar.
Idea. But mate, these cunts were nuts. They had billboards on the street that said BMF, the world is ours, and all that.
Oh, really?
Like
was that Young Jeezy no a part of that? Right, that's what I have heard of BMF, but I've not looked into it or watched
Blue
it.
Da Vinci was their rapper, but you never really heard much about it. It was more a front than anything else, man. The cunts were making too much money to give a fuck about it.
Didn't really need to be selling many records. They were doing all right.
They're getting interviews saying, aye, we're fucking drug dealers, we've got a debit.
That's a
mate, they were pioneers of that shit. Every cunt's grassing on themselves these days. These boys were doing it 20 years ago. I knew they're in jail, believe it or not.
Ah, fucking it happens, doesn't it? See, because I heard of Young Jeezy, he was driving about in Lamborghinis and that. The only reason he became a rapper was so cunts would know who he was, because he was parking driving about in Lamborghinis and that, but nobody knew who he was. That's the only reason he became a rapper.
Fuck's sake, man.
It just shows you how much fucking stupid money's
I need
involved.
a career to justify this car.
Exactly. I don't think it's justified, because I don't think he was giving a fuck about cunts going like, I wonder who can afford that. I think he was just wanting cunts saying, oh, that's Young Jeezy's Lamborghini. Because he just thought, who's this mad, this guy with a
car, they need to know who
He's done it in reverse then, because it's usually I'm a rapper, now I get myself a Lamborghini. And he's
Ah.
like, I've got a Lamborghini, well I need to fucking rap it.
It's a sound method, because there's a lot of shite rappers that try to get rich, but you could be rich and then be a shite rapper, and a lot of cunts will listen to you just because you're rich.
Oh,
should have had
fuck.
that
Because of the internet now.
when you started rapping. Well, I had this Fiat Punto and it wasn't enough.
A lot of people
But
know
that was
all these feet
that.
put
So they had to know that was my fucking Flintstone feet at the bottom of the motor.
So as we were talking about before we were interrupted by the police,
I know, fucking
the
hell.
Gestapo.
You're the one called Fivo, fuck's sake.
I know. Or see, even I tell cunts because I was.
They're just like,
Because my nickname's 50, and I say it, and there's not once I think one person in my life I've said to my name's 50, and I think just the awkwardness, the guy's like, oh, nice to meet you, 50. But every cunt else is like, 50 pence, some shite patter that gets flung back at you.
Nah.
So I was like, right, because obviously I use 5-0, that's my kind of like stage name and all that shit. So I've been saying to cunts 5-0 to save the confusion. My name's Jordan, but my nickname's 50, but I get called 5-0. So I don't want to bamboozle cunts. So when they say to cunts 5-0, they're like, that's the reaction I get now. I don't get any witty or shite replies back. I get a look of fucking suspicion. So I'm like, no, that 5-0. And like, how are you 5-0? Aye, like the police? Like, no, but so I've ended up confusing cunts more, so I need to just figure out.
Well, you're the worst undercover anyway if you're telling cunts. Know what I mean?
I'm hiding for the police in case they expose me. But as we are talking about, obviously you're saying, right, you wrote your first tune, you get halfway through it like that, oh fuck that. But was it a kind of singy tune kind of thing?
It was, I mean, like I was saying, you grew up in grunge music.
Right, so that wasn't like rap to deal with like, that wasn't
fuck
the idea
all rap at all.
So this was just like a song. So
this was completely separate from me saying for years I've been telling cunts one of you should rap. So this was me just bored with my mates playing guitar and me sitting there doing fuck all. And I went, I'm going to write a fucking song.
Right.
No interest in it in my life. The only reason I done it was so as I was doing something. So, because I thought, well, it's a lot easier to write a song and learn how to play the fucking guitar in 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
You ought to know how to write, didn't you, man?
Wrote that and that was it. I said, I've got a knack for this, try to sing it. Definitely don't have a knack for that. So we'll go with what was already in here for years and years and years. You know what I mean? We was just talking about the scheme and the way cunts live, because I went, that's a hip hop I listen to. There's nowhere that's more like that than here. No, other than their places that they're talking about.
Aye.
You know what I mean? So
is it? So was it just after that song you're like, right? The singing isn't fun me. Then you just went immediately right onto the.
Got the bug for it, mate. And I say it was literally couldn't come at me fast enough.
Oh, right, just flown at you.
Nah, it doesn't happen like that these days. These days I need to sit down and make myself.
You see before me, go a jog or something. I'll go a walk. Fucking put the headphones in, try and channel it.
I couldn't be 2 feet away from a pen and a bit of paper before because when I started, I was enthusiastic. I wasn't even enthusiastic. It was as if it was just. I opened up my mind for once in my life and suddenly everything all came out at once. It's like one of the cunts that's never great in his life and as soon as he starts he can't stop. No, he's a wee bitch, he just goes on and on. That was me, I was the wee bitch that just kept going on and on and on and writing and writing and writing, you know what I mean? So, but that's about it happened. And then just for then probably wrote for about a year and then funnily enough a boy I used to stay next door to in Penally, I'd moved to us at this point, I was on the other side of the scheme. Hadn't seen him in years and he comes to my door one night. How you doing? Alright. And he used to play basketball with. He's guess who I'm staying with now? Tommy, Polish boy we used to play basketball with. He DJs and he raps now. And I went, fuck off, guess what I've been doing for the last year? I've been writing all these rhymes. I'll never actually tell any cunt them. Well, tell me. I tell him and he was like, fuck, you need to come up and see him. Went up to see him. He knew a couple of boys that for Glasgow that were rapping. Cunts I'm still pals with to this day. Then they were like, come to this gig, that's where everybody raps, who does? And I'm like, fuck, cunts in Scotland rap, I had no idea. You know what I mean? And then that was it, went up to town and rapped for a couple of people and the rest is history, mate. Aye.
So was that, so seeing you're writing for the year, did you told nobody? Just kept it to yourself?
Well, there's no cunt to tell.
I suppose.
No telling the troops in the scheme, you know what I mean?
So how was the reception when you first started doing it? How did people take it?
Mate, but I'm lucky that way. I grew up same as every cunt else. You don't do that, you're a fanny. You don't do this, you're a fanny. I was alright. Cunts gave me a pass on a whole bunch of shit they wouldn't give anybody else a pass on because I was always the cunt who played basketball and done this and listened to grunge music and they just sort of went, he does everything we do and all, so it's fine. You know, I'm still going to go out listen to happy hardcore, still going to go out play football, I'm still going to do whatever yous are doing. But I'm also going to do all this other shit. So I think cunts just like, it's him. I mean, fucking rapping, whatever. I've been trying to get them all to listen to it for years and that never worked. So it was just the same. It was no different writing it than it was trying to get them to listen to it.
I suppose that's the part that kind of stops most people. It's that it's no, am I good or no? It's, will cunts slag me? Or will cunts like this? And that is it. And it holds so many people back if you know what other people think, and it's good.
And again, you're talking 20 years ago, so this is before, like I said earlier, before every cunt and their granny started grassing on themselves. So I'm the only cunt in the scheme talking about the scheme. No one-on-one. Like I'm talking about it on record where anybody could hear it. The fuck are you saying? You know what I mean? It's one of the ones, so you need to be clever with what you're saying. You need to tell scenarios but no dates, times, places and names.
Any cunt.
Fucking right. You know what I mean? If that was dodgy, you're talking about, but here, fucking let me listen to that. Now they're interested, you don't grassing on me, are you? Like, of course I fucking know.
Listen to.
How do you remember your first gig?
First gig, Cliff of Vaults, believe it or not, where the helicopter crashed in.
Is that what it used to be called, the bar?
Cliff's not called Cliff of Vaults anyway.
I think it's a Cliff of Bar, is it no?
Is it a Cliff of Bar?
You're showing your age here, man.
Say 20 years ago, mate.
I only heard about it when it crashed into the helicopter, so it was Cliff of Bar as far as I knew, because it knew it's called a Cliff of Bar. I don't know if they call it in there, but see if there's like gigs or open mics or that, it's Cliff of Bar.
Right. It used to be Cliff of Vaults and it was just a night where every cunt was on stage. I'd been into a different gig where other cunts were playing. And then people were on stage in there, and it was just a take a mic kind of thing.
Aye.
I was like, fuck it, you know what I mean? It's one thing I wanted to experience. Because it went for write a song, right now I need to rap it out loud, see how it sounds out loud, right now I need to record it, right now I need to play on stage, I need to one step further all the time. So I just grabbed the mic, done it, and that was it, man. But that was just a wee sort of freestyle session in front of this random audience. And then I ended up on a course called the Trialect course.
Right.
It was run by Real Learning, and it was a special, it was in the Lighthouse in the town. And they had like maybe 12 people on it or something like that. And they'd done a special course for all of us, and then done this big presentation with a gig. So that was my first real gig, and I think there was fucking hundreds of people there.
Alright.
Hundreds of people is no much, but for a cunt who's never...
Oh, no, of course, you've a small enough room, man. Even 100 people, see when you're fucking, like, your second gig, man, it's a lot.
Nah, and I literally went out, done the thing, and went, right, tick, off the list. Never done it again for years.
But gigged or just done that?
Gigged, never gigged for years. Cause it was one of the things I wanted to experience it, see what it was like.
Right, so...
Ticked it off the list, and again, mate, I'm 20 at a time, I'm fucking fresh out of the life I've always known. Yeah, I'm like, I'm a rapper, but overnight?
Aye.
No, I'm not. I'm not going up to tune and, you know what I mean? What if I bump into some cunt I know? Or,
aye,
you know what I mean?
took a bit to get used to yourself.
I went to Edinburgh, and then I went, I don't know any cunt here.
Also, did it take for you to move to Edinburgh before you started gigging in it again?
The next gig I done was in 2010 in Edinburgh.
And what was the one before that at the Lighthouse?
It was 2003.
Was it? So it was 7 years before you played another gig after that? Were you still writing and recording?
Oh, aye, mate.
So were you just recording and releasing tunes but no gigging them?
Yep, and as far as releasing them, again, I've never released anything, me. You know what I mean? Never. But it's whoever I'm doing it with, whoever's in the room at the time, whoever's produced the beat. There's always somebody else involved because I don't make beats. So there's always somebody who's pressed a button and recorded it for me who goes, I'm putting that out if you don't.
I noticed that seeing I tried to search your stuff before. You were quite hard to find. And I would only find like collabs with other people. And that kind of, I was like saying that, some like right now I'll find, let's see, like on YouTube, like you've done like Went South and all that kind of stuff.
Aye, the videos are there for, but again, that's on Power Cut. That's no Mog channel on that.
Aye, that's it. It's all, you've not got your own channel kind of thing. It's all kind of.
I've been accused of having conversations with cunts that I've never spoke to in my fucking life. So no, I spoke to you online. You'd be the first. It's never happened. I must be doing my sleep. I must be sleep posting or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? So.
It's fuck. What was I going to ask you? I forgot. I can't believe it. So, see, when you say obviously you played the Cliff of Alts and that, were you still, was that when you moved on to the beats then, rather than still playing, remember the piece of, in fact, you said that, when you're playing
for the
guitar, I'm getting mixed up.
Oh, no, in between that, there's an in between that was just the first time getting on stage. So I went for the first time with the guitar on stage, but in between writing and again, meeting up with the Polish boy that I used to play basketball with, knew he's a rapper, and I'm like, fucking hell, coincidence. So that all go to go to a gig and to meet other cunts. But in between I had bought an 8-track. And again, Jesus Christ, I sound about
gone back now, ain't you?
Believe me, there wasn't much else you could do back then. This is in 2003. Or 2002 actually, late 2002. Still don't know. Fuck.
Have you still got it?
No.
I gotta say, that fucking relic now, innit, man?
But no,
made a bit of money off.
Fucking, I got an 8-track and one of the boys I knew in Penny, he's no interested in rapping, but he's hung about with me, so he was like, fuck it, I'm in for a penny, in for a pound, let's get a bash. And it wasn't that bad.
But was he rapping?
Aye.
Oh, was he?
He just went, if you're doing it, I'm doing it, fuck it, why not? And after a couple of novelty songs, he was done with it, but I was still, I like this, you know what I mean? It's something I can do, and even if it was just for a case I come home at the end of the night and the shit you can't say to a cunt in a conversation, put it in a fucking tune. Mate. Even if nobody ever hears it, it's like a diary.
That's it, mate. You're preaching to the choir with that, man, because that was when I first started writing tunes. I just played them the guitar, like when you said at the start, we just sort of singing and that kind of stuff. And at first I was like, see, writing a tune, and I thought, fuck, I can't write that. I fucking cunt so slaughterous for it. See, just that my thing, and I was like, well, wait a minute, no cunt needs to hear this.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If I want people to hear it, that's fine, but like, nobody's going to hear it unless I want them to hear it, so I can write about what I want. And as it's therapy, and especially see, when you write up raps and kind of stuff, I just write wee raps on my phone just if I like rhyming stuff, so if I have a nice wee rhyme in my head, I'll do it.
Okay.
Write it, and sometimes if you're fucking stressed at your box and it's a way of channeling that energy, it's therapeutic, it's amazing.
Mate, a lot more accepted now, I know.
Aye.
So every cunt and their granny's got so. Well, the thing is, putting yourself out there now is, I mean, how many cunts don't have social media?
Mm-hmm. I know, a very
count them in
small
one hand.
Aye.
Every cunt's got it, so everybody's promoting themselves now.
Aye.
That was like, what the fuck are you doing? Putting yourself out there rapping and making yourself the centre of the attention. Like, calm down.
Aye.
Nowadays, everybody's the centre of their own world because here's my life, here's everything I do, and it's accepted now. 20 years ago, it wasn't fucking accepted. And that's how I'm saying I have a cunt going, what the fuck are you saying in the tunes? do I need to hear these? No, because I want to, but do I need to? And you're like, nah, it's alright. I mean, obviously, I'm no stupid. I wouldn't do that.
But did you actually have cunts asking you, like, are you fucking sticking us in, mate?
No, because I've had one cunt who would listen to it, one of my mates, and he'd be and go, oh, I mind when you said that in that song, and some guy, oh, that's cool. Is that about that thing? And I'm like, aye. You didn't mention them. Of course I didn't. You know what I mean?
I see you done it subtly, but they're like, wait a minute, fucking Paris came on.
Makes you a better writer.
It does, and it's like seeing people are clever about it. You hear a lot of English rappers like Dave and that, they're clever about what they say. And I think because they're signed to major labels, so there's certain shit they can't just say.
Oh, it's just no business savvy. You know what I mean?
But it's like they're talking about like fucking, you can tell they're talking about selling drugs and shit like that, but they're just pure clever about it.
Of course, man, of course. But I mean, that was a thing. Boys in the scheme clocked onto it quite early, to be honest. And they started listening and liking it, you know what I mean? So I'd be lying in my bed at night and hear some cunt flying down the fucking street at 2 in the morning and hear one of my songs.
Oh, would you, aye?
Oh, fuck, aye. And that was early 2000s, like 2003, 4, cunts were already doing
that. Were they playing on like a fucking stereo or something?
In their motor.
Oh, in their motor? Right.
Flying down the street. I'd always tell one of my mates because you could just tell that... one of the ones that that's his screech and can't else comes on a corner like that. You know what I mean? And then you'd hear your tunes. But I think the best one was, Colours Fest.
Aye.
In the Braehead.
Aye.
So every cunt in my scheme all went there, they'd have a big minibus and every cunt would go. Yeah, I fucking don't even know why they
a minibus to Braehead
I
for Penalty.
I was just going to say, I think it pulled up with a bunch of other cunts already in it. And then it's like they're doing the tour. Because I just thought
I was like, fucking a fucking 10-minute drive.
Why the fuck did cunts get a bus across the road? But no. I think it was one of the big
number 9.
Big buses that they do take and cunts.
Aye, so they just hop on it.
But so they were all at Colours Fest one night, and where my mum stayed, there was just a big bit of grass right across the road with tenements in like a semicircle.
Aye, Bowfield in it.
Aye,
there.
So exactly facing our house, semicircle tenements. So I mean, fuck, you drop a pin, everybody's at their window looking out for you here. So all of these cunts are all mad fucking ravers, and they've all went to Colours Fest. Came home, whatever, 4 or 5 in the morning. This is in the summer, right? So my window's open because it's too hot to shut it. I need to work in the morning. And I'm lying there, and this is about 2009, just after I put my first album out. And the beginning of my first album's first real album, I've been there, there's other shit, but first real proper release is Michael Caine for The Dark Knight, the first Dark Knight.
Aye.
And he's talking about the Joker. So it's a wee
Some
sample.
men just watch World burn that bit.
That's it. So it's a wee sample at the beginning, and that's the first thing you hear in the album. So I'm lying in my bed and all night, it's every cunt partying, every cunt raving, coming home. And then it gets to like fucking 6, 7 in the morning, every cunt's just starting to, when I come down, and all I heard was Michael Caine voice. And I remember lying there for a couple of seconds, going, that's fucking weird, that's the same bit in my album. And then bang, a tune kicked in. And again, it's loud as fuck, whole street can hear it. And played the full album from start to finish.
Who was it was playing it?
One of my wee mates, and I remember him telling me the CD got knocked out his house.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Some cunt stole that CD, I went, yes!
That's what I was going to say, Niggas a compliment.
Yes, done it. Know what I mean?
This is my audience.
But I remember that was the first time lying there going, holy fuck, cunts actually like this. Cunts in the scheme are playing this after they've been out raving all night and put that on, sat and listen to it. And I thought it was just him because it was my mate, and he went, nah, mate, every cunt loved it, and some cunt stole it.
It's just the feel-good music you need when you're coming down, isn't it?
Absolutely, mate.
Feel-good
Absolutely.
That's it. If some cunts coming down, they steal your music, I take that as a compliment 10 times out of 10.
I encourage everybody to steal it.
Steal my music if you want.
Fucking right.
It's good luck stealing it, but it's all fucking online. But I mean, you can steal the computer its own, but you can do that. I don't advocate that, sorry, I'm not advocating crime. That's talking about fucking slagging cunts for incriminating themselves, know what I mean? I can edit this shit out.
Steal my shit!
Fuck's sake, I will have it posted in the door, man.
Just steal it, that's what I do.
But so see when that was happening, did that not encourage you like, right, I want to go out and gig it then? Or was you still that hesitancy like that? Nah, just something.
Well, that was again 2009, then I moved to Edinburgh.
So you moved to Edinburgh, and that was the
maybe 6 months later after that, and then early 2010 started going to Edinburgh and started playing gigs, and then that was it. Just the music king took off for me now. So it was kind of a byproduct of doing an album for the first time,
right?
But also it just coincided with moving somewhere different. So all happened. Maybe if I was in Glasgow, I would still have took it more seriously for that point, because now I've got an album and now I'm writing more and, you know what I mean, and putting more shit out. But it just happened to be the same time I moved to Edinburgh, so just a perfect storm, you know what I mean?
Maybe it's the energy in Edinburgh or something.
Again, mate, I'm no fair there. You know what I mean, you got between as a boy your whole life, and I spent a lot of time in there because I was always coming and going for playing basketball. in different places, either the Gorbals or Easterhouse or whatever. So spent hundreds of time in the town, or just going up the town with your mates. And suddenly I'm here for a completely different reason, but every cunt else is the same.
Aye.
Nah.
Just it didn't sit right.
Nah, didn't sit right.
I suppose going through to Edinburgh, no, it feels as if no cunt knows you, so you just kind of go, right, now people can know me as a rapper. Because everybody in Glasgow knew you as something else, but if you go to Edinburgh, it's like, nobody knows me, so it's like a clean slate.
Exactly.
So it's basically the world is yours, world's at your feet, you can make it what you want.
Exactly, man, and you can actually think about fucking hell, maybe I'm a musician, you know what I mean?
Aye.
Bad word. You know what I mean?
An artist.
Or maybe I'm an artist. Fuck's sake,
That's when you start getting fancy. I'm an artist, boys. Like, fuck up.
I know, I'm walking around, I'm an artist, dink, shut up.
So see, when you moved through to Edinburgh, were you still just doing it like solo? At what point did you start performing with a band?
I mean, it was always the idea, because even if you go back and you listen to my first music that I made, I always, you were saying cunts don't use the rapper guitars, I would always sample guitars, because half the beats, even though I didn't make them, I went, sample this, do that. I know how it sounds, I just don't know what buttons to hit.
Aye.
So it was always me sampling REM or Hole or something like that. I was always sampling guitars. Chili Peppers, when I done that Twilight course I was telling you about, every cunt else was making like Beastie Boys sounding boom bap fucking beats, and I'm like, hey, he's road tripping for the Chili Peppers, I'll chop that up.
Oh, right, huh?
Californication, and know what I mean?
Oh, amazing, man.
So I was always that way minded. As soon as I get a fucking band, you know what I mean? So I think the first real band, when I went through to Edinburgh, I started playing gigs with the Number 9s, who were a good band through there, and just on stage and live. And then you get, you know, because the gigs I was going to, know, it was a different thing in Glasgow. The few hip hop gigs I'd been to was just hip hop. I went to Edinburgh, it was just a music night.
Oh, right.
No matter
So
if you were a rapper or whatever.
Versing.
So the bands are like, mate, I was banging, you want to jump up on stage with us? And aye, fuck it.
So you would do like a set and they'd get you up to perform
to do that. So you get to know different bands, different people. And then started working with a producer called Zambian Astronaut, who was the first person I lived with in Edinburgh.
Oh, was it, eh?
Aye, because they had the big house, and he was like, mate, fucking stay here. Alright, I know. Started working with him and Adam Holmes and done Bang Dirty, which was the three of us.
So was that your first kind of band?
That was the first, first real play with a band and play gigs live, and it's our band and it's our music.
Aye.
So I was like 2012. No, it was the first time I'd ever wrote to beats. I know I'd never wrote to a beat up until that point.
How do you know that?
No,
How did you
'cause
feel the transition?
Mate, I loved it, and these days that's
It's a done thing now.
mainly the way I work. You know what I mean? Is I'll write to a beat. But it was the first time I'd been presented with music, because usually I've got a fucking pile like this that needs music. So I'm just trying to get the beat to fit.
So now it's that you're writing to
Other way
fresh,
about.
nothing.
Can't use any of this because you've wrote a hook. So now I need to match your hook, and I need to. So it was like, just use the tune. Even the music itself, can't say that that's came out dead different for your usual shit. Is it because it's a band? And I went, I think it's because I had to write to the fucking music for a change.
Yeah, you had to change, but that's the beauty of it. It's sort of challenging yourself in it. You need to push yourself out your comfort zone to grow.
Oh, I know, I loved it, but mate, and then after that, fucking, I don't think there was a band in between that. It was just for that, and then it was Simmons Is Old we done an album, a rock sort of punk album called Simmons Is Old.
I noticed with your Bang Dirty stuff, it was a lot more indie, a lot more like, no poppy, but that kind of softer sound, whereas when I seen you in McCool's, you've got a bit more of a rocky sound, a bit heavier.
Oh, aye, what we do now, the Ducks, that's obviously what we're doing at the moment, you know what I mean? But we, just the two of us, had done an album called Simmons Is Old, done it all ourselves, and had a producer have to program in the drums, because there was no drumming at the time.
Aye, I know you're paying for it, I do it myself.
But there you go, mate, and by the grace of God, a fucking drummer got in touch with me. By the way, mate, been listening to your tunes for years, you want to do something? I went, fuck aye.
Fucking law of attraction, innit?
Aye, and then I said, look, I'm already in a band, me and Lewis, we do Simmons Is Old. I was like, but I mean, what's in a fucking name? Who cares? We'll just start from scratch, but we'll do it with the three years. And that's it. And that's what we're doing at the moment.
So long have you been with the Ducks for?
2 years. I mean, the name has only been about for a wee while, but we.
Where'd the name come from?
2 years. For fuck's sake! I know you're laughing. This was a running.
I'm glad I asked.
Oh no, it's nothing dodgy or that.
No, I hope it's funny.
It is funny. Well, to me, it's funny. It was a running joke.
Several places as well, isn't it?
Well, aye. And it's took on about fucking 12 different meanings since we came up with it and all.
Standard. Yep.
Shit, we didn't realise at the time till after the fact. You know what I mean? But we couldn't come up with a name. That was the point. Like Mince, the drummer, he kept saying, "I come record, we'll do this, do that," and then we're starting to get tunes together, starting to this, do that, and I went, mate, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's OCD or something, but I need a fucking name. I need something to hold on to. I need to know who we are.
Identity.
I don't need a fucking t-shirt. I just need to know. So I was like, right, we'll come up with a name. So kept flinging everything out. nah, can't do this, can't do that. And but no, just him saying no. Between the three years, we couldn't agree. And there's a bit, my favourite bit in Space Jam. Seen Space Jam?
Aye.
First one. No,
Aye,
fucking
I
pile
know the
of
fucking
shite in
LeBron
your
James
glass.
one. I've not even seen the second one, but
fucking mate.
I'm not a guy
Keep
for.
it that way.
It takes a lot for me to go and watch a sequel.
Mate, unless you're just about at the edge and you need that extra nudge, don't watch it. You know what I mean? It's terrible. But the first one, there's a bit where it's Daffy Duck talking to Bugs Bunny.
Aye.
And he's like, I thought he had a name for the team because there's going to be a team with Michael Jordan. And he goes, the Ducks. And I always thought it was hilarious because he's doing the duck yell. You know what I mean?
That's the most important.
So every time we couldn't agree on a name, I'd go, I've got a name, the Ducks. Because I was taking the piss out the film.
Right.
But then it happened so many fucking times that one day I said it, and it was every cunt looking at me, you're going to make your joke because I done it every time. You know what I mean? And I went, aye, the Ducks. And then I just, fucking hell, is there anything stopping us for calling ourselves that? No.
It's the one thing that we've called it more often than we've called anything else. At one point, like it's been.
I've made that joke every time, and every cunt's laughed, but nobody said no.
maybe it was just some reverse psychology, and Mince was like, if we make that the name, he can't do his little fucking joke ever again.
It's probably worth it on his point of view, no hearing me say that again.
It's almost like brainwashed them with the Ducks. It's like you say it as a joke, but you actually like it called the Ducks, but you didn't actually put it out, so you made it sound like a jokey term, and just been clever about it.
Feed it.
Just as I
That's
planned.
that's psychiatry, mate.
It's the Ducks after all.
But mate, by the end of it, the weirdest thing was when we actually agreed, and I went, surely there's some cunt else called that. There's got to be the Ducks. There's the everything has been took at some point in time now. Nah, was the fuck?
Nah.
So I went, nice.
It's meant to be then, innit?
So now we've got
I think
the.
at one point there was some bizarre supergroup in the 70s that had 3 or 4 sort of rock and roll guys, probably really famous, and I'm really ignorant. But I know that. But it was just a sort of a thing that they'd done and stopped. It wasn't a going concern and stuff. So.
And I
But
think
the Travelling Wilburys you talk about? Or you talk about that's a band called the
Same
Ducks?
idea.
No, actually called the Ducks.
Oh, they were called the Ducks? Aye, if I'd
Or
gone.
maybe it was just Ducks. I don't even know.
I think it was.
See if it's Ducks and the Ducks and you're sorted, see that it's important, man, because
Yeah.
aye, see if you add it in, just a small wee word like that.
I think now we've got whatever you call it. We've got the trademark to it, didn't we? Aye, so we've got a trademark to it now. So that's
Oh, so no cunt can do it.
Aye, we're the Ducks.
Good stuff, mate, good stuff. So what have you recorded so far? Have you done an album yet?
Aye, mate, I've done what,
More than
20 odd songs.
yeah.
But most of them are ones for any cunt who listen to what I've done in the past, you'll know most of the songs. But it's obviously live band versions. No live band, they're properly recorded in a studio and that, you know what I mean? But band versions of them instead of hip hop.
Aye, because when I first, obviously checked your stuff out, it was Bang Dirty, and I didn't know about the Ducks, and I didn't know what you were the Ducks until I went to see my McCool's. So he's on Spotify and that to check his out. What is your stuff released on?
We don't know, released wise, we've not actually put an album.
Oh, so you've made an album?
We've made an album, but it's one of the, but it's the first thing I've ever done. I don't know, it's the first thing you've ever done that's properly.
Certainly to the level that this has been done. Yeah. Because
so
usually, obviously, up to this point, everything's been very sort of DIY. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's slowly gotten better, because even the Simmons album was, although it was in a small homemade studio, Martin, the guy that produced it, is like he's literally got like a doctorate in how to make noise.
Oh,
You know what
I see.
He's got more letters after his name than he's got in his name. Do you know what I mean?
A doctor
and
in tunage.
His studio was, although it was small, it was still very professional, but it was still us and him, and it was just kind of boom, boom, boom. Whereas we've had people involved in this that really, really know what they're doing, and it's actually most of it's not been up to us. We've just kind of turned up and done our bit, and other people have done.
Aye,
so
like
kind of
they
not-
mad their wee flavour to it.
Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely the first time I think either of us have done anything to this kind of level of.
Amazing,
But
amazing.
it's good. It's worth it. Like
When he's planning on releasing it?
You need to ask your fearless leader. You know what I mean?
Who's my fearless leader?
The drummer, he's not.
Oh, your fearless leader.
Aye. No, he's the man that takes care of it. He's been in the industry for years, so he knows all this kind
Aye.
of stuff. You
it
know
makes
what I mean? So
that's
he's-
not a reticent. Like it makes sense for him to handle it.
It does. It's better. See, it's better for one person doing it. See, I've never been in my band myself, but I've been pals with people in bands, and it's see if there's too many. It's too many cooks spoil the broth. Is what I've learned for that. So see if you get too many people, and it's good everybody have an input, but you do need like a designated somebody kind of like the final kind of to do with this and that.
Yeah, and also he has the experience of how to do it
Exactly.
professionally. Do you know what I mean? And knows the people. And on top of that, like none of us are internet people, like him included as well. He's not. You won't find him personally on anything, but he at least knows the people.
He knows the right
can push
avenues.
all the buttons and produce all the stuff. You know what I mean? So it'll be out when it's out. Hopefully, I don't think it will be too long. Hopefully,
there's a plug for you. It'll be out when it's out.
If you want any information for I don't know how to get my own fucking shit, never mind anything else, man. I don't, man. Once it's out there, it belongs to the world. It's nothing to do with me anymore.
Once it's out there, you're done with it, man. You're disassociated.
On to the next, mate. That is one thing I did do during the whole lockdown shit, is I went back and listened to a couple of albums, and I was like, fucking hell, man, I sound younger now than I did then.
So do you not listen to your own music that much?
God's honest truth, it's no to say that this happens all the time, because it doesn't, but if some cunt else is playing it. But no, I don't sit in. One thing I will do is see before it's out, I'll be
you get a wee
relentless. Like, I'll sit and listen to it 70 fucking times. And then as soon as it goes out of my hands, now it's available to anybody who wants to hear it, I don't ever need to hear it again. You know what I mean? But before it's out, I'm like, is that right? Is that right? Is that right? Is that right? And then I write.
So is that American analytical sense?
I'm not sitting back going, check out amazing.
You're sitting like that, right? What could I have done better?
Some
enjoy it for a week before everyone else gets to enjoy it tonight. They take because they get.
Sometimes when I do that, but it's like, it's alright. See if I'm like recording a voice note to me and I can work on it, but see once say I've recorded it and it's gone, and I can't really get back to it and see listen to it too much and try to analyse it. I feel as if it's torturous because you're like, fuck, I should have done this. I should have done that, or that would have been better. And all these great ideas always come after it's too late.
I'll tell you a good quote. Adam Holmes told me, he says, an album's never finished, it's only abandoned. And I was like, that's a fucking brilliant quote, because you could do the same thing for the rest of your life and never be happy. The more you got to feel a different way and update it, and then the next day and update it, it's better to just live in the moment and go, right, that's it, it's done, it's it. That's how I felt yesterday. If I feel differently tomorrow, I'll make a different song.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's it. And see if you try to wait until you thought something was ready and perfect, it'd never be ready.
Never. Because it's not never got to be fucking
squeeze
perfect.
It, and by the time it was done, man, you'd be like, what the fuck? You would take all the greatness out of it.
You'd hate it.
Fuck
you would hate it.
I hate it.
You'd be sick of it and you'd tear it and you'd be like that. And it would when you first thought it was finished to when you think, alright, it's near ready now, you'd probably end up getting to a point like, I've just fucking pure squeezed every day of life at this tune. Now it's like, you end up deafened by it almost, and you're like, I don't even know what to do with this thing.
And you think to yourself, say you took 2 years to make something perfect, but you got to take a week to do the next thing that's meant to be better. No, you got to take 3 years the next time. So it's a fucking stupid way to work, you know. I mean, unless that's your thing, some people only release something every now and again.
Aye.
But if you're boom, 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 you know what I mean, then it does take. Fuck it, freestyle. Let's get into the juicy questions. You know what I mean?
And you want to ask me about?
No comment. No, I'm kidding. But mate, I was wanting to say to you how long you'd been at it.
What?
In music now, because I know you're saying it's not your main thing or whatever, but it's still a passion in it. So.
Well, see, music is my main thing. It's like, see,
is it? Alright,
before it
this was...
no, I've just ended. This takes up my most time, as you can see. This has caused me the most stress, and it's just, it's time consuming as fuck. But I wasn't really, man. I used to listen to New Monk and that when I was younger, and I was always into rhyming shit and that, man, but I never done anything, mate. I was just fucking, I was like, nah, fuck that.
You mean like jump to the beat like that?
All that shit, but I wasn't I was just dating my own wee time, just to write mad wee raps and shit like that. No raps, rhymes. And then I get to jail at 17, I get 4.5 years, so I was in for a while.
Oh, is that how you in for a while, you know?
4.5 years, mate, I got, so I was in for 3 years, so 17 till I was 20.
So they put you after about 4.5 years on a fucking tag?
No. This was back when I was 17. I'm 29 now. This was the first time I was.
Oh, right. I was going to say that makes no fucking sense.
No. I've been in a couple of times, unfortunately.
Right.
That was the first time. That was 2010, and it's weird. I used to kick about Penalty, you know. So it was
at that point in time.
At that point in time,
I might have still been there.
It happened in Penalty, so it was like January 2010.
Of course, it fucking did.
January 2010. I get to jail, so it was like the 10th of January 2010. Then, so I was obviously in for 3 years. So I was in there. I've got
but again, it's before your time. I'm forgetting you're 10 years younger than me. So.
I know, man. My age. People talk to me. I've got the look of a fucking old man. I've always looked.
Oh no, I don't mean that.
No. I do. You don't need to say it. No, it's like, even if you don't think it. Like, for I was young. For I was like 15. That like fucking 20 or half. You looked old. I've always. People always got. I think look older than me. Always think I'm older than them.
Right.
And I'm like, wait a minute, mate. If you look in that fucking mirror. I was like, used to the 101 penalty, used to go in like, you look about 18, like, what service Beverly? Like, no, he's ID. I was like, I can't look 18 in, can I? But
Different staff mate used to serve me when I was 14.
Oh, really? Aye. Name them, kid.
Again, different time period.
Aye. If it was fucking, I suppose. But I'll get back into fucking, obviously you're asking about my music and that, how I got into music. I was in a jail, and I was into New Monkey and that, and I was listening to that, so it was quite fucking, I don't listen to New Monkey now, it's kind of, I don't know. People like it, each to their own, but that was the only thing I listened to. It was just me fucking getting mad with music. There wasn't really much to it. I wasn't listening to, it's just pure
soundtrack.
It wasn't doing much for me apart from it was just a tune when you're getting mad with it.
Brings you up, but mate, grew up in happy hardcore, you know what I mean? Still to this day, if I'm mad with it, that's what I put on.
Aye, that's it. And so I was watching the X Factor one day, 2010, and Liam Payne for One Direction. He wasn't in One Direction at the time, so he was doing his audition, and he's walked it, and he's like, I'm going to sing Stop Crying Your Heart Out by Oasis. By this point, I'd never listened to Oasis. Never. I think I knew. I don't think I knew any of their tunes, and they sang it, and I was like, that's a fucking tune. No, because he sang it. Just I was like, that's a heavy good song.
Yeah.
And the boy next door to me, I knew he liked Oasis. He had the Time Flies, see the compilation with the pink and the fucking blue CD. I says to him, I was like, have you got that song, Stop Crying Your Heart? I sang the song to him. I didn't know the name of it. He's like, Stop Crying Your Heart. He's like, I've got it on a CD. I was like, what? Because I shot it. So he gives it in, and obviously it's the compilation album, so it's all the best tunes on it. So I'm listening to it, and I'm like, every tune, it was one of the ones like, what the fuck? You ever find a band or find a tune, you're just like, how have I just found this? It's like, it opens up like pathways in your brain. You can actually feel it.
Yeah.
So I was like, no way, and it just pure totally changed my music taste. And there was a boy in the hall for Dundee, boy Jamie Dolan, and he was fucking a wizard on the guitar and that. And a few times I'd asked him to teach us, but it was one of the ones you pick it up, fucking can't do this, put it down. And eventually in my last year, in my sentence, I ended up saying to like, mate, shows fucking how to play the guitar, and he's like, one of my end of his terror, says he's showed us that many times, like, mate, I've fucking been in me for years, mate, know what I mean? I've fucking tried to show you, and I was like, mate, just shows this time.
Like teaching some cunt to drive, they say don't do it with your mates, or you want to kill them.
I one of the ones. So he's like, right, so he's given us like the chords to live forever, kind of showed it, he's like, right, go away, learn that, like kind of one of the ones, like, fuck off. So I went away and learned it, sat, and obviously in the jail, I was in the cell myself, so it was the perfect thing to be doing, to sit and try and learn the guitar. So time just flies in, you know what your cell was. When you're fucking learning the guitar, the time it just goes because you're fucking that zoned into it.
Yeah.
So I ended up learning it within about a month, and then I went back to him and I was like, shows an R tune, this and that, and then I just had the bug for it. And it was on that guitar I learned on, that one behind you. And I ended up going like that, right, fuck, I'm taking this guitar ways when I was getting out, so I just bumped that guitar.
Nice.
And I've kept it. Every tune I've wrote has been on that guitar. And so I get out, and obviously the boys I hung about with, they weren't musical kind of like boys, obviously listening to music, but they weren't into it and that kind of stuff. They were more kind of into their image and all that shit. So my idea, the reason why I picked up a guitar, so I was like, if I'm in a house and there's a guitar there, I'll be able to pick it up and play it. See, mad with it. Not once was I ever in a house that had a guitar in it after I got out of jail. So kind of in the back burner, but I had it, but it was almost like a dirty wee secret. It was like I had my guitar in my house and all that shit. I didn't make any secret. I was into music and that kind of stuff, but I wasn't writing or anything like that kind of stuff. I just play it and fuck about. And then, but I was mad into Oasis, fucking loved them. Then I met a group of boys and they were in a band. And it's like seeing you talk about the drummer and that kind of stuff. Like, and I met them and I was like, no way, they're into the same stuff as me. They did a studio and that. End up palling with them, and we'd get jams and that kind of stuff. So I started getting more into playing it, and then they were writing their own tunes, and I'd never wrote tunes in that. And I'm like, you should do it, man. It's like you can only get better at it. So I just started doing it, and I took to that to see what you're saying. I'm gonna say I was amazing at it, but like you're saying, like I'm like, can I get a knack for this? I'm quite good with words and that kind of stuff. So I just stuck with it, and then. I done like a wee gig for them. They done like an EP launch. That was my first gig. I supported them and I loved it and that. Then I get the jail again. I always end up getting the jail. Everything's going good. I always get the fucking
weird how that happens, isn't it?
It was a cunt situation. Long story short, Cottles came through a door and some cunt done a cottle with an iron and I get lifted weight up. So
fucked then, every cunt's getting it.
I was out in licence, so they just went like, right away, back to jail. But I was in the jail and I got my guitar in and just all I done was write tunes. And that's what I just used it, and what you're taught about. And I met, there was a guitar teacher kind of cunt in there. It was like a screw, but it was part time. But he took a guitar class, and I ended up arguing with him because see that guitar, obviously it wasn't just. I was in Pullman at first.
I think you brought it back in, and they were like, bastard. We've been missing
Aye,
that fucking
because
piece of
that's what it
shit.
says, and I was arguing with the cunt, and I was like, I'm smashed this half a grand before I gave it, because I was like, this is my guitar. I know I'd
How
stole
the
it,
fuck did you get that up your arse? Fucking hell.
but launched it out of the wall.
Ah, exactly. Here, some cunt fucking catch it.
But aye, and then, but as soon as it started doing it, he's like, right, once you come to this class, you need to play in front of everybody. But it was only a couple of cunts there, and I was like, no bother. So I just played one of the tunes I'd wrote and all that, and it was kind of like, you could see his fucking demeanour changing. He's like, right, he's another one. So he took to
That's you playing your own song.
my own songs. So, and a lot of them took this, because I think it's like, obviously you're in the jail, so a lot of people in there, they just pick up the guitar to pass time. No, a lot of them were like sitting writing tunes and that kind of stuff. So, but I'd been doing it outside, so, but I wrote a lot in there, so the what he kind of took to us. He was like, I should definitely pursue it and that kind of stuff. So I ended up getting out of that, and I had this like wee catalogue of tunes. I'm like, I'm going to start gigging and that. But I done one gig and I started hammering the gear and all that shit. Then I've just patched it. And I fell back into it at the start of lockdown. Just started doing it. But I forgot how much, it was one of the ones I spent that much time away for it. I forgot how much I loved it. So when I get back into it again, I was like, I forgot how much I actually fucking loved doing this. So I've just been back doing it since, and then everything's kind of stemmed off the back yet. But recently, see, because I'm doing the podcast, I'm doing like comedy sketches, I'm doing a lot of stuff. I struggle to find the time to like sit down and play the guitar and that. But I'm recording stuff and that and now. But that's how I've kind of been doing the raps and that kind of stuff, because I can write a rap on my phone whilst I'm out and about. But with a guitar, you need to kind of get home, sit down, make time for it.
Melody and all that.
Exactly, you need to do all that.
You end up with a million voice notes of you quietly in bus shelters and walking home trying not to look like a weirdo on your phone. Going, just remember, go.
No quietly. I'm I don't give a fuck. But I get it.
Because like, you had a good night, mate. I'm fucking sober, I swear to God.
It's like, see, I would date quietly, see if I'm with people. If I do a voice note, I don't know. It's just cunts on all day. I make tunes, but it's weird. I just do it in front of people, because it's like, you know what yourself, it's you're happy to show people the finished product, but it's the work in progress. Unless it's at a point you're like, right, this is sounding good, but see when you're still trying to find what you're doing, it's like...
nobody's like, do you want to hear this shite rhyme I wrote? You know what I mean?
Do you want to hear me go do
I know.
on my phone quietly under my
Although
breath?
half the cunts that want to get in your ear and rap, it'll be, wait, you hear this? And you're like, oh, Christ.
You need to suffer it.
Fucking hell. I've had cunts do it to me while I'm watching somebody play on stage.
Oh, did he?
And I'm like, mate, I'm watching music. I'm listening to fucking music. Know what I mean? Some cunts me, here's my new freestyle. Your new freestyle? What the fuck? It doesn't even make sense.
Didn't know if you had an old one, fuck's sake.
Nah, you know, it was meant to be fresh, is it no? So, I've been working on my new freestyle.
Would you get cunts like that,
Oh, fucking hell, mate. You get all sorts, man. But don't get me wrong, I'm no bad mouthing any cunt, because I said a million times, I've said there's on the list of cunts worth hating, musicians are at the fucking bottom.
Aye.
You know what I mean? I'm no angry at nobody for rapping because they're better than me or they're worse than me or because I don't like what they say, and that's all fucking bullshit, you know what I mean? But it is an annoyance sometimes with cunts that are too enthusiastic. You're in a room and I just want to freestyle, and like, oh, shut up, we're watching the fucking TV.
And I know what he wants to hear.
Aye, because he sees Moggle, he must just rap 24/7. He
night.
must just wake up rapping and go into a shower rapping, brush his teeth, he's rapping.
You get that, because I don't know much about hip hop, man, because I'm only into what I was into.
Aye.
I mean, that was it, and I said to you before, it was no my be all end all thing. So it's like, Mog, what do you think of fucking blah blah blah? And I'm like, who? I have no idea, mate. No idea,
Looks
man.
of disappointment.
Oh, I could imagine the people get pure offended like, what? Like,
Oh, mate, you think I'd fucking, I'm holding a dead Wayne or something the way they look at you? What do you mean you don't like Nazi's fourth album? I'm like, how do you know what the fuck it is? You know what I mean? I don't care, man. Even the shit I know a lot about, I don't know a lot about. You get people who will tell you fucking every detail of everything. Tupac, oh, you like Tupac? Well, did you know this? No, but I live my life fine with it knowing that. You know what I mean?
Aye, so I can be guilty of that. See if I get into somebody, I'll pure know what the fucking star sign and all that, and what time they went for the last shite and all that kind of stuff. But and sometimes, see if I'm mad with it, I'll put on a tune and I'll be like, oh, did you know this? And I'll give some cunt a bit of trivia behind it. But I'm not one of the ones that pure tries. I don't know. I'm saying that I'm probably one of the cunts that does pure. Do you know this? I'll just say to some cunt, but I'll not be pure. What a fucking
no, but you not be doing it like, oh, you rap, do you? Well, I bet I know more about rap than you. I'm just like, I will. Do you know what? You tell us about everything you know about rap, and I'll time you, right? Like, fuck off, know what I mean?
Fuck's sake, I'm probably a quicker chug, man.
So honestly, like music people, hip hop especially, it's the same as football cunts. See cunts that talk about football and only football.
Aye.
You're just, Jesus fucking Christ. You meet some people at gigs, oh mate, not seen you in ages, what you been up to? Nothing. Nothing. It's been 2 years. You know what I mean? Making tunes and doing gigs and writing and I mean, fuck you fucking get a wife and a wedding and a job and you know been doing nothing else. Nah. Fucking hell, you get more than
your wife and ways.
exactly. You get more than me in your life and you're, you know what I mean, obsessed with this fucking shit 24/7.
I feel you with the football thing, 'cause I don't watch football and let's see like you're working inside.
Oh, you don't watch it at all?
I watch the Old Firm and that, but I don't follow it. I used to be a Celtic. I used to go to Celtic games. Used to have a season ticket and that, but when I was about 16, I just fell away from it, and I was like, I grew at it.
Nah.
But I'll stick it on the telly. See if it's on. I'll stick it on in the background as company. Or like if there's an Old Firm, I'll watch an Old Firm. Or a Scotland game, I'll watch Scotland. But I don't follow it. Like I couldn't tell you what's going on. Fucking, I'll pick up things for like social media and what my pals are talking about, but I don't really know the ins and outs of it. I don't know this player and that player and this fucking team or the fucking politics and all
So
that
you
kind
feel
of
my
stuff.
pain then when cunts going about that shit and you're in a room going fucking hell. You know what
Aye,
I mean?
people start talking and then like, you're on a building site and like it's like some people, if you don't watch football, it's a question of your sexuality to them.
Absolutely.
It is like, but you gay? Like, no, I
You don't watch men in tight shorts all the time. You must be gay.
Playing with boys?
Aye,
Nah, mate,
aye.
I must be a fucking homosexual. But aye, it's like I've got my own interest, but with the music, it's like I would say I'm a singer-songwriter before I'm anything else, and that's my main passion. But with the rap, it's like I started getting into listening to rap. Man, I was always into rap, but I wasn't. No, I'm really into like the scene and that kind of stuff, and I'll follow that and kind of what's going on. It's kind of like football. Like with some people's football, I kind of know I'm up to date with kind of stuff's going on. But I just started writing wee rhymes and shit for a lot. I've done like probably about 3 rap tunes so far. I've done my first one I recorded and then get the jail and got it released when I was in the
Not
jail.
because of the song though, no.
No, because of the song. And the worst thing of it is the song, it was
Jail me for music, jokes on you, I got a guitar.
well, the song was actually called My Moz Paulin, and the premise of it was the song was I'd been busted and the police found my Moz Paulin, they were looking for me. Then I get the jail and released the song when I was in the jail, but now I've just realised that when you've just said that, I didn't even realise, Penny didn't even rap at the time. But when I was
Well,
in
so
the
you grashed yourself in and they came got you for the fucking...
my mum doesn't smoke Paulin, mate. Only me.
Oh, I'm only kidding on.
No, I knew you were kidding on. No, I was trying to be funny.
Strictly on that Cali gear, is she?
She's on no good shit. No,
She doesn't smoke that
my
shit,
mum doesn't
fuck's
smoke
sake.
council weed.
She's not smoked pollen, well, not since the early 2000s.
I always said they should jail cunts for that. Fuck's sake. She said, you're weed. This is shite in the back of the fucking van. If it's good, they should be good for you.
There you go, mate. Fucking roll a joint. But when I was in the jail there, that time there, I didn't have a guitar right away. And see, because of COVID, you can't get them handed in before I get my guitar handed in.
Fucking hell.
You need to post it. And I'm like, I'm not putting my fucking guitar in the post. Yeah, if you're not,
I don't even know how that works.
near there.
I'll not fit through a
I've
letterbox
never
like that,
known to
man.
post a guitar anywhere, and it was like, so I just wanted to write rhymes, so I just started writing rhymes when I was in there. I said my wee notepad, and I would just write rhymes and shit like that, and that's all you can do. You had to channel your energy somehow. And I ended up writing a rap tune, and it was don't let the crown get you down. So I was like, right, when I get out, this is going to be my fucking just out of jail, my fucking 2-pack California Dreaming tune. So that was my second one. Then I done like a wee freestyle for. They've all been pure. See, every kind of rap I've done, I've never intended to write a rap tune. Like the first one I done, I was playing a Mac Miller tune in my pal's kitchen, right? Doing Good News. You ever listen to Mac Miller, no?
Again, mate, last 10 years.
Ah, right enough. He's brilliant, man. He's deed, but so I think
That's the best part.
Oh, it's him. He's the deed rapper. Aye, fuck.
see, if he wasn't deed, I probably wouldn't have heard him.
Take your pick, they're all deed.
I
man.
didn't hear about him until he was dead. So it was a tune. It was, and he's one of the cunts. I came from like a musical background, so he plays a lot of instruments and that. So I was just playing a tune in my pal's kitchen, and my pal Owen, he raps, and he just started rapping at it. So I got my pal to video it, and then I'm going to put that up online on my page. And I was like, wait a minute, I should fucking add a wee hook to this. So I had a hook, and see, I talked about the voice note. I was doing it the Clyde, and I was smoking. I was waiting my pal came back, because I was uploading a tune I wrote, and he had the video on his computer. So I had to wait until him come home so we could go and upload it. This is how fucking budget and operation I've got going on. No, I mean, I need to wait until this cunt come back for the gym so I can go and upload something for his laptop. And worst thing is when he came back, we had to go to my pal's to use his Wi-Fi because his Wi-Fi was shite.
Nice.
But
Mate, a good story in your memoirs, not.
oh, 100%. But see, when I went down to the Clyde, I ended up smoking this joint. I had this green, it was Mac 1 it was called. It was fucking banging. And I had Banafa green. See that way you Banafa? Do you smoke? Do you puff it out or do you used to?
Oh, I used to, yeah.
So see if you Banafa it and then you smoke it, it's like smoking it for the first time again.
Of course, you're levelled.
Aye, so I was doing it to Clyde and it was like during the night and I smoked it. and it's that way it was just came on, it was just pure appreciation and that. I felt amazing. And I was noticed like it was like the lights were all shining in the Clyde, and see that way it just looked amazing. So I got a wee hook, it was like the stars of the night are shining in the River Clyde. But I was like, I just said it in my voice notes, never thought anything of it. Like, so I sang the wee melody. Then this was like the Friday, then it was the Saturday that this was in this kitchen. I've been playing the guitar, my pal started rapping. So I was like, right, a few days later, I'm like, well, wait a minute, I need to get a hook for this tune. I should do that. And I was like, what could I do? So I went through my voice notes, I'll see what I can find. And I found that. So it matched up. So I've ended up like, right, I'll make this a hook. Well, I've made the hook, and then I was like, fuck it, I'll write a wee fucking rap. I know, right, no. So I just wrote it. And then it's sounded alright. And then we've ended up making it a tune, this and that. Sent it to my pal Doc, he's put like a wee outro and all that shit, because I'd end up singing a bit about my mum's pollen and all that shit just for a laugh. It was just one of his off the cuff. Well, we've ended up recording it. Then obviously the second time I was in the jail, I didn't have a guitar, so I was like, alright, I'll just write rhymes. And then eventually I was like, I've got a tune here, man, so I'll release a rap tune. But it's all on guitar, it's not as if it's on beats or anything, it's like a guitar with a hook and a rap.
Can't you be doing that for a long time?
Aye, that's the way I like it. That's the way I wouldn't see like a drill beat or anything like that kind of shit.
Remember Plan B?
Aye.
That's the way he started.
Aye, Plan B, you know what I mean? That's what I like with the melody and all that kind of shit. It's a pure the combination of both worlds. Then I just done a lot of freestyle for. You ever heard of Up to Standard?
Yes, actually, I think it might be. Is it one or is it similar name? I might be doing something. Is it the same
Up to
one?
Standard, one take.
I think next week I'm doing something.
Is it Washington Street?
I have no idea. It's with Marcel and Bridal. Bridal knows them.
Young
YB.
Bridal.
YB.
Aye. Well, that's what it'll be. Because I seen their channel and that, and I just messaged the I was stoned one night. I was like, when you getting his own for a freestyle? And they couldn't message back, like, can you come in next week? And I was kind of like, fuck.
No.
But I was like, aye. And then I was like, right, fuck, I better write a rap then. But obviously, as I say, I've been writing like wee raps here and there in my notes. So my notes are full of mad rhymes. But I was like, right, I need to get a beat. So I was sitting like that, right, what the fuck did I do? But I was like, I'm committed. And I don't know what I say. I feel I'm at that pure stage where if I feel as if like an opportunity presents itself, I need to just take it and worry about what I'm going to do after it rather than fucking think I'm prepared. So I'm like that, right? So I've ended up fucking, I'll find a beat. So I found this Mac Miller type beat. And it was on YouTube, and I was like, right, that sounds good, so I'll write something to that. So I've just started piecing this all together. I only had like about a quarter, a half of a song. And it was the Saturday I was going down the Saturday morning, and like the Thursday I just sat down, fucking wrote the full thing, put it all together. And then I had like the Friday to rehearse it. So I was just like, I had the headphones in, and I was like, I'm one of the ones, I've got a pure addictive personality, so see if I find a tune I like, or like I can just keep listening to it until I'm fucking overdosing on it, sick of it.
Same here.
So I was just able to keep, as soon as the tune finished, get back and just repeat, just repetition. And I've got a few techniques for memorising lines. Like I'll write it out on a bit of A4 paper. So I'll get it, write it and just copy and just keep repeating it. Like I'm doing lines if I'm in school, and that helps me remember it.
Oh, just same
Just
one,
keep
same
writing
one.
it, just repetition. Just write the full thing out on a bit of paper, then rip it up and write another one, and just keep doing that. And because it's like,
I will not diss the ops. I will not diss the ops. I will not diss the ops.
Because it's like when you're writing shit, it's like it's chat going through your brain, like to your fucking like your brain sending signals. I don't know. It's like you're ingesting it, and the brain's having to send signals so you can write it. So it's getting it's like soaking into the brain.
No, I repetition, mate. Fucking boom.
So I done that, and then that was me, and I was like that. But I don't rap. I rap and kind of sing as well, so I kind of mix it up. So that was my third rap tune, but they were all kind of accidental. But I enjoy it. I don't do it like a serious thing. I'm more probably serious with a singer-songwriter kind of thing, because I want to record tunes that I've got. But with the rap, I just do rap because I enjoy it.
Good tool to have in your toolbox, but
That's it, mate. That's it. It's good to be versatile, like yourself. I mean, you're saying like you can do it with the band behind you, or you're starting on beats. It's good to mix it up.
Oh, aye.
You don't want to reach a stalemate. You're just doing the same shit all the time.
Nah, see the thing is, being up there, I know we were talking about me doing gigs for years, but it wasn't because I didn't want it was just because of the circumstances. But see, being on stage, I'm fine, fuck's sake, put me on a stage anywhere, in any environment, I'm good now. But see with the band, it's night and day, mate. Night and day having a band with you.
What's the difference for you?
It's just energy, and it's no predictable. It's no, I know how this beat's gonna go. If this beat's no the way it's always been, then somebody's fucked with it.
Aye.
You know what I mean? So I know how the beat's gonna go, and I know how I'm gonna rap on it, and I know, alright, different energy, different crowds, but with a band it's completely different. Everything's organic and everything's based on the moment, and without getting too wanky about it, you just, you know what I mean? You just feed off whatever's going on at the time.
Aye.
And you never know how it's going to turn out, if it's got to be a great performance or a shite performance or whatever.
Aye.
Well, I mean, it's always going to be great, you know.
Of course, it's the Ducks. Of course, it's
Try
going
to
to
be
be great.
humble here, for fuck's
But aye, it's like, see, there's a lot of moving parts to being in a band, and do you find that it's a bit more challenging? Because see, if you've got a beat, it's just a case of, right, got a beat, record this, I just need to learn these lines. With a band, obviously need to rehearse, like you're rehearsing later on.
Fucking never rehearsed in my life. And I say when we met,
Are you not rehearsing the day, or are you recording the day?
oh no, I mean up until we started.
Oh, right.
Which is still we
I was
did
going to
this.
say, fuck it, have you not rehearsed in your life? I'd say you're doing well.
What a coincidence, this is the first day.
Aye.
But no, never rehearsed in my life for anything, mate. Never, fuck's sake. I just write the words, put them on, boom. And usually, memory's good enough that give me like one run through of the song before, like that day, and I'll be good that night.
Aye.
To play it on stage. So no rehearsing or fuck all. These songs, fucking hell, man. These
Rehearsing
20,
at your arse.
20 songs, mate, they're haunting me. You know what I mean? I'm saying to Mince, look, some of these songs are 10-year-old for me because it's a compilation of all the things that he likes. See, this whole thing's his brainchild. You know what I mean? It was him that got in touch with me and I want to do this, I think we could do this, I think we could do that. And I was like, aye, sounds fucking magic. You know what I mean? Just point me to the mic. But then it was the constant rehearsing and same tunes over and over again. I'm like, fucking hell, I've never done this before. This is weird. So she gone into the booth to re-record songs that are 10-year-old, some of them older than that, that I've been rehearsing 20, 30 times. She tried to get any energy into it. It was weird for me because it felt robotic.
I can imagine as you get to a point you're like, fucking, almost as if you're sick of it.
Aye.
You're sick of the tune. It's like eating the same food for
Fuck
fucking 10 years, and then you go
But then I
like,
think, I mean, I don't know, speak for you, but like, but that's where the band thing makes it different as well, because it's not like you're having to re-record it over the same beat, so that's kind of a help. 'Cause it's
Definitely.
different songs.
aye,
it's
so
the
is it a
same.
different vibe? See, is it Mince?
Mince,
Mince, right? I wasn't sure if saying Mince or Mince, and I didn't.
Oh no, Mince like Mince and Tatties.
Mince and Tatties.
Aye.
Aye. Do you know how we got that name? Please tell me.
Because he loved Mince when he was away, am I right?
Oh, for fuck's sake, man. Nothing's pure. No, because it's
Expecting
pure
some
cunt.
big gangster story. Nah.
No, I didn't. I thought it was actually going to be
Killed a man.
Mince.
I say
No,
blew
I'm
his
not saying.
brain.
Look, I'm not
Brains
saying.
look like
I'm not
Mince,
saying
mate.
disappointment for me. I'm saying like I know he's pain when you get a nickname like. 'Cause I know for a fact he was like, yes, I love being called Mince. I knew for a fact he's like, I fucking hate being called Mince, and it's just stuck because of something so simple.
It's Wayne's can be cruel, man. Me boy in my primary school when I was in primary 7 or 6, I think. A boy from Oban, it came down and you got a fucking school in Glasgow and you're from Oban, you've got an accent. Nah, it's not going to end well for you. So I'm walking in, boy's fat. So I'm going, check state you fat bastard. I bet you eat everything. Would you eat for breakfast? Weetabix, that was his name.
Oh, what? Weetabix?
For life, still is.
For life.
Is it Weetabix?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm not
Oh,
saying
right,
boy.
right.
But it will be.
Aye.
But that was...
If you're watching this Weetabix, I feel your pain.
I mean, you just met him, Weetabix, that's your name for now, and some cunt walks in the class, alright, how you doing, this is Weetabix.
And it's like, no matter what you do, it'll just no stop. Because like, when I was in fucking secondary, I got called 50 in second year. I was banding up a lassie, and me and my pal, and I was just telling her hung about every scheme in Glasgow. I peeled whopper, and the fucking daft cow believed us. And next day she sneezed, she walked by us in the corridor, like, alright, 50 schemes, who you fighting for the night? And it
50 what?
50 schemes.
Alright.
So it stuck. And then it was like every cunt, 50 schemes and that. So it was like a derogatory nickname to bam us up. But I got my report card back for like that year, and I was late 50 times. And then it was like, a story came out when I was in P7. I was in the cafeteria queue, and I was showing a lassie a 50 pence. And it's always birds. This shit happens with, man.
You're like a Joker, mate. Your origin story's all over the fucking place. You get 30 of them.
I feel like a fucking Joker, man, ready to fucking cause war. But I had a 50 pence. I was like, I can make this disappear. So I flung it in my mouth and made it throw it in my tongue like that. Threw it and tapped my tongue, but lifted my tongue up at the same time. So I've ended up choking it.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And then the head teacher ran in and started smacking my back.
50
Whited
times.
out her shoe. So then that story was like under the carpet until 50 schemes, the 50 report cards came out. Then that came back. Like, remember you swagged a 50 pence in primary 7? Then that was it. Solidified. Like, my name's Jordan. And see, unless somebody called me Jordan, I wouldn't answer them. So people would be like, aye, 50. But people were all when he was slagging us, they just think that was my name. But not answer until he said Jordan. And I would think, right, people will catch on that I don't answer to 50. Nah.
Aye.
So I ended up just got to a point like, right, I'm just going to accept this is my name. So I had to just deal with it.
That's not my name. Aye, it is.
Aye, that's my motherfucking
Enough cunts
name.
call you, it's your fucking name.
But that's the thing, people used to call me Fivo, just go, I'm just my big Fivo. And I used to like that better because that was merry a name. I thought than 50.
Then 50, yeah.
But it's weird because all my content is about fuck the post and that kind of shit. So cunts might click my channel and just be like, what the fuck's the deal with this cunt?
Self-hating policeman.
This guy's going through like a midlife crisis or something.
Went rogue. Fucking.
But what was I going to say? So, see the album you're doing now, so is there some of these songs that is your older stuff that's just been kind of remixed with a band now?
Aye, I say it's just, again, it's Mince who had been listening to shit I'd done for years, and he basically, again, he knew. It's how you know some cunts telling the truth. If they go, I want this for this album, this for that album, this, and I'm like, fucking hell, you've done your homework. So he just picked everything for everything. I had done all his favourite, or not even his favourite, but what he thought as a band we should do these songs, and that'll make a banging album. And that was it. We've done 20 odds, you know.
Ah, nice one, man.
So that's the good news. If we keep working that way, mate, I never need to write it in now for the rest of my life. Just let him sift through the old shit and then read it.
Do the work, man. He definitely does do the work, doesn't he? Fucking good on yous, man.
Saying that, but I hadn't wrote in a few years, so the fact we were doing this thing that I didn't need to write for was good. Because I had pretty much, I hadn't borrowed for a couple of years doing any music.
What was it about that?
Just, honestly, mate, just not even writer's block, just not interested.
I just kind of lost the love for it.
Lost the love for it, to be honest. And funny enough, you were talking about drill music. It was that got me back into it, believe it or not.
Was it, aye?
Because it was the same as yourself. You say you grew up New Monkey, and say I grew up listening to happy hardcore, and again, everything jump to the beat, all that kind of shit. So I like fast rapping anyway, and I like that tempo because I grew up listening to dance music, techno music. So the drill thing, for that reason, it clicked with me. And I fucking one of my favourite rappers ever is Twister. And try rap as fast as that cunt, know what I mean? He's
I've never listened to Twister.
Oh, mate, the
Old school.
chart tunes will lead you astray. Because some cunt will go, it's like Twister, he's pissy done this chart song.
You need to point, is it like, is fucking some B-side or some mixtape or something?
I'll give you a list of like 10 songs and you'll love them. Definitely.
I love a good bit of fast rap, so you just listen to it, like, let's get your heat going.
Well, that was it. I'd always grew up listening to it.
You'll get an X-brain doing it to him, like.
Oh, fuck, aye, man, your tongue will be in a sling, you know what I mean? But fucking, he's that fast that I always grew up listening to him and trying to mimic him, and you know what I mean, as you do when you're listening to shit. So I had a
you listen to your stuff, it's maybe no pure like rapid, but it's fast, but it's no fast enough you can make out what you're saying.
Of course, that's the main thing, is be heard, you know what I mean? You don't just went brrrr and cunts go, oh, well, that was fast, but I don't know a single fucking word that gets said, you know what I mean? It's always more about what's being said than how it's being said. But fucking, when I heard the drill, it was Polish boys I was working with who listened to Polish drill. And again, like I said to a phone, no lying, man, last 10 years I don't know shit about shit. And that's when this thing's become big, and I'm just like, whatever. And then these Polish boys listening to Polish drill. And I kept saying to you, and I'm sure you as well, I'm sending you tunes, going, wait, hear this fucking Polish cunt, he's amazing. So I'm listening to these drill tunes and starting to get tuned to the beats just for working in a kitchen with these boys. They're pizza chefs, and I'm working in the kitchen and fucking just every day. And eventually I went home one night and I was like, I've got to find one of these beats. And I literally just typed UK drill, because I knew there was a lot of UK shit as well. I thought, I'm going to steal a beat, I'll steal one for closer to home. UK drill, first thing it popped up. Wrote a tune to it, first song I had wrote in fuck knows how long, and I was like, I like this, you know what I mean? And for me it was a wee bit different to rap fast, even though I could. It's something I'd done much, you know what I mean? Because it's normally hip hop tempo.
It's just you're kind of imprisoned by the tempo. You can't really rap too fast on like hip hop beat.
That's it, man. You're confined to the bars, literally. But it was like a palate cleanser. For years I wasn't interested. I'm done with this, and then started doing it, and it just got me back.
A breath of fresh air.
To the point now where I'm writing songs again.
So you're back writing now?
Aye, I'm writing normal songs again, but also still doing that because I find it fun. It's a different outlet, it's a bit more aggressive, I know, but without being like, I'll shoot you in the fucking face, you know what I mean? So, but you can get a bit more of your anger out, and who's not been angry the last couple of years?
Oh, 1,000,000%, mate, 1,000,000%.
So that was a therapy for me, mate, doing the drill music, and then it got me just back in the world of making music again.
Because that's a good thing, it's trying to remember why you did it in the first place. That's how I always try and bring myself back, like, why do I do it? Because I enjoy it. And you can find yourself, see when you start releasing tunes and doing that, you find yourself like, alright, I need to write a tune for this, I need to do it, and it becomes more a necessity, and it's like, that's when I feel you start to lose the love for it, because it becomes more a chore.
Totally, man.
And then I see when I managed to find a lot, just the same as me, because I did fall away for it, and then it was like, I tried comedy and all that, and I was like, I need to be doing something. I tried the comedy, the stand-up, and I was like, this isn't for me, man, but I was like, I need to be doing something. And then I just found myself back into it, and it was like you said, like, I done like a wee parody, and it wasn't even much of a tune, but it just pure gave me the love for it, and I was like,
jump start, mate. All you need is a jump start.
That's it, mate. It brought back life to it, man, but I was glad I done it. But I was going to ask you as well, see, obviously in the Scottish scene, do you rate ended or no?
Oh fuck, aye, of course, man.
Who's your
There's
favourites,
never been a period in time when I didn't rate cunts in this country. You know what I mean? So when I started, I don't even know if you'll know these names, but you know Scotland Yard and All Time High.
No, I don't heard them.
But Mr. Jinx is a Scottish MC. He was in a group called Scotland Yard. Him and a Scottish producer, no, actually English producer, but lived in Scotland. So they were called Scotland Yard. Jinx was him and Giz for All Time High, which were in our Broth group. They were the two MCs that when I heard them I was like, it wasn't what I was doing, it wasn't I'm for the scheming, because they weren't, you know what I mean? They were talking about their lives or their schemes or whatever. It wasn't Glasgow shit, but it was still their own accents, good wordplay, all that kind of shit, and I was like, I like these cunts. So even instantly when I started doing it, I had respect for other people instantly. I never came in and gone, "You're all shite," and you don't. Different styles, but love it.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
What about right now?
Right now, mate, oh fuck, man, most of the people you've interviewed, to be honest with you.
Really, aye?
Oh, aye, mate, I fucking love McCroy. McCroy's just unbelievable,
Nah, he's a man.
mate,
I was
honestly.
listening to Melrone, he done like he's releasing a new tune, and it was quite different to stuff I've heard before. It was a dun 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 dun. See that instrumental? Ever heard it? Dun, dun. It's like a mad torn trumpet. Have I heard it?
Like dancing kind of one?
Yeah, dancing.
Oh, right, I would know it then, probably.
See, I'm probably pure butchering it, but
I think I know the one you're talking
you know
about.
it? It's like Destination Unknown.
Oh, fuck, aye, of course, aye.
He
Right.
done
Oh,
that.
he's rapping on that?
Oh,
Fucking hell,
mate, he just done like a wee video, so he's in the studio and he's recorded a wee clip, mate, fucking amazing.
Mate, he needs a fucking slow down button on him, man, honestly.
Aye, well,
I mean,
this one's
but the
faster
thing
than
is,
he's-
he's clear and all. You can hear everything. You can
Aye.
hear every syllable, and I'm like, how the fuck do you do that at that speed and be so, like, enunciate everything so fucking perfectly? Because you could tell a story that fast and you would still follow it.
Aye,
Know
mate,
what I mean?
I think he's got the fucking chain smoking to thank, man, because he's got some set of lungs on him, man, because see when he's doing that, let's see, he does
Is he a heavy smoker? You wouldn't have thought
Aye,
so, man.
smokes, aye, that's the thing, he smokes, he loves his fags,
Unbelievable.
he loves his fags. Well, he's tobacco, it has rolls and that.
You mistake him for never fucking doing anything to his lungs in his life. How fucking...
I think he was an Olympic cyclist or
Exactly,
something,
exactly, aye, fuck, man. But that's breath control that I definitely don't have, I can tell you that for a start, mate, no chance. But aye, McCroy's, he's fucking brilliant. I say the other boys you've interviewed, I know, man, fucking AJ just done a song with him and McCroy.
Aye, I heard that, man, brilliant. Age is a good guy, man.
Aye,
He's young as well, he's about 19, 20 year old.
20, I think, mate.
Aye,
yeah.
20, so he's young, so he's fucking got a lot of time ahead of him, man. But see with the social media and that, I think it is going to do a lot for the Scottish scene and get it out there, because before it was quite underground, I think, you know what I mean? But it's like now, like, you've got like Oxley Began in the rap game, you get fucking Shogun and all that kind of stuff. They're starting to break into the mainstream. There's obviously, I think it's still a bit more time yet.
But it's because, again, like I said, it becomes more and more accepted. Even in a scheme now, it's accepted. Like it used to be. You know what I mean? It used to be, if any cunt had ever heard any Scottish rapper, I was amazed. Now, if they haven't heard any Scottish rapper, I'm amazed.
Aye.
Oh, you've not heard anybody? No. I'm like, fuck, that's surprising. That's how much it's changed in 10, 20 years.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
Because I think it's with the rise in English scene. The English scene,
fuck,
say, because
yeah.
before that was quite, it was like a grime and that, it was big down England, but it wasn't.
It wasn't cool anywhere else. Drill's cool everywhere.
Aye,
You know what
aye,
I mean?
and now it's with the drill, I think it's like everybody, because you're seeing like youngsters and that. When I went to do that up to standard freestyle, there was wee guys like 16, 17 in there.
Of course.
And they were good, know what I mean? So they've been doing it, so it was like, back when I was 16, 17, nobody was rapping. Nobody was rapping, and if they weren't putting their sale out.
Same here, mate. Same here. There was no cunt at that age, nobody was doing anything like that. But the more it becomes more accepted, the only thing you need to watch is you don't want it taking over your culture to the point where you start losing who you are.
I was about to ask you, what's your opinion on Scottish people that rap in an English accent?
Oh, I mean, listen, see, just rap whatever fucking way you want to rap. It's culture I'm concerned with. I don't give a fuck about a cunt's accent. But see, if you start, it's like a drip, and then the shit rolls downhill, the piss rolls downhill, you know what I mean? And eventually the next generation will sound a wee bit more like that, and then the next one a wee bit more and a wee bit more, until you know it, no cunt speaks Clash speech anymore. Because these things can swallow your culture whole. See, because of social media, the internet.
Words like bando and all that shit. I never knew what a fucking bando was.
I don't even know what that means.
It's a stash gaff.
A what?
A stash house
Oh,
for
right.
drugs. It's like a bando. The bandos where you stash your drugs and all that shit.
News to me. I thought you meant a band you wrap round like a fucking
that's what could say
ladder.
in the bando, like fucking, it's like a stash gaff, like where they all punt fucking drugs for.
Right, but I mean, that's a thing, mate. Rap whatever fucking way you back it up. Like I said to you, I'm not going to hate on any cunt for making music. Fuck's sake, you're not on the street selling fucking smack to kids, are you? So
I know, I suppose.
Can't hating you for that, but be careful, because it can eventually bleed into your culture where you start forgetting who you are. And if any cunt's got a culture worth preserving, you might not think think it because it's Ned culture and every cunt looks down on it. It's still fucking ours.
Oh, mate, it's
You know what
cultural
I
as
mean?
fuck. I was having a podcast, a boy James O'Clotter, he's a comedian, man, and he's like, anywhere else, it's let's see the Scottish dialect and the slang. That's still probably one of the only kind of dialects in the world where it's deemed as like gutter language,
Totally.
almost, and it's like it's no,
But
but
what's
it's
that
very.
pop? That's how I'm saying we're perfect for it, so don't fucking change it, man.
Oh, aye.
Do you know what it's like, mate? You got a gourmet meal in front of you and you're sitting eating a fucking apple. Like, why would you change your accent when you've got the best accent to do this? You've got the best culture to do this. You know what I mean? I'm not all about the fucking we'll shoot you, we'll kill you, we'll stab you. I mean,
slag fuck at you.
yeah, you probably have something better to do with your life and your music than that. You know what I mean? No cunt wants to get popped on a street, nobody's heard they by a cunt, nobody's heard they for no reason. And that's stupid. You know what I mean? So don't let your music lead you into doing stupid shit like that.
Aye.
But talk about your culture and where you're from, mate. That's the one thing you've got in your corner. If there's cunts down south that can't make money off of sounding natural where they're fae, you're not gonna when you're no fae there.
That's it.
Definitely no.
Aye, 1,000,000%.
You know what I mean? So the one thing you've got is you've got your culture, you've got Glasgow, Paisley, wherever it is you're fae, Edinburgh, fucking Dundee, wherever, you've got that, and that's something the world's no heard. You don't want to come out sounding like the next cunt because they've heard him.
Aye.
Tell them words they've never heard before. How would you know all these American slang terminology if it wasn't for hip hop? I wouldn't. It's because I'm interested. So you just need to get cunts interested in the way we speak.
I believe that. I believe it. All it takes for just the right person. Obviously, there's that many people doing it, but all it just takes for the one person to get noticed. Then people
So-
like, oh fuck, this guy's dynamite and all. Then it opens up that. And
I
that's
mean,
just
look at cunts like Sherlock that are getting like fucking 500,000.
I know.
You know what I mean? Boom, just like that, 500,000 views, and you're like, fucking hell, there is people. It's possible. You know what I mean? It's possible to get it out there to cunts.
And people are loving it because they are Scottish as they come, and that's a good thing. It's like they're getting views like that. Because there is people that rate him. Everybody rates everyone I've spoke to. They rate him. There's not one person will ever say. And
What does that show you? But how does he sound? 100% the way he talks.
Exactly.
100% Glaswegian. So there you go. The cunt who's actually getting men attention than cunts using fake accents. It's because he's using his own.
aye,
So fully shit.
exactly,
You know
full
what
of
I mean?
suit. And it is. It's like it is. It's we're in identity. There's no, as you say, let's fucking every cunt and their grannies doing that English stuff. You look at them at like, the English scene as far as we know. There's a lot of English rappers, but that's the ones we know about. That English scene's massive. There's hundreds of countries you don't know about. So I think if you're trying to copy a scene that's already fucking got probably more people in the scene than we've got in this full country as a population.
Absolutely, man. And again, I don't see him coming for a certain lifestyle, wanting to talk about it and choosing to do it in a different accent. I gather that's somebody who doesn't know nothing about nothing.
Aye.
You know what I mean? So if it's some kind of, I live this life, I do this, I do that, I want to talk about it, well, the easiest way is just to talk about it. I'm not going to fabricate, I'm not going to talk about my real life in a fake accent.
Aye.
I'm going to talk about something fake in a fake accent.
My,
You know what I
real
mean?
life in my fake accent with my words that I borrowed from somebody else.
Exactly.
I believe you.
That's it. And it's people see through it. It's people on the daft. It's like authenticity does shine through. People know
Also-
if you're talking shit.
So the cunts with the most attention are the ones using their own voice.
Also, the thing is, like, the way that language works is everywhere comes up with their own slang and their own words anyway, and they don't work. They actually don't work in another accent. They work in that, so like it's not even a case of you shouldn't be doing it. You sound stupid. Like, it doesn't translate. The same as like, it's funny because Scottish people would be the first people to mock English people for trying to say like, oh, I was in about the host. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you'll hear people using mad down south language, and you're like, that sounds
Probably the same
equally
cunts at a
stupid.
Scotland game going, fuck English. You're going to him try to rap like them, know what I mean?
Fuck English blood.
But aye, it's like, see, that's what I always say. It's like, right, you've got a lot of Scottish people try to sound like English rappers. Do you think you'll ever have an English rapper try to sound Scottish?
Fuck
No.
no.
Never.
Fuck
Never.
no.
It'd be a fucking, it'd be a comical as
It's a
fuck.
parody.
Aye, a
maybe.
parody, aye.
But then folk would be like, oh, it sounds nothing like that. You're like, exactly.
Aye, that's the point. It's
Exactly.
not meant to sound like you.
And here's another thing, but try and find one that even could.
I know.
It's easy for us to sound like, and we grew up all our lives watching English TV, American TV. We know what they sound like. No cunt knows what we sound like. They have to fucking subtitle us just when we speak. So there's an entire language that hasn't been heard on record. Why the fuck you using one that cunts are sick of hearing?
Exactly.
Use the one nobody's heard before. Nobody's heard our words, our part, our activities, what we do. Because alright, it's the same as the same principle as you're in a hood in Chicago or somewhere. You're in a scheme in Glasgow. It's everywhere's dodgy and things operate the same way. But you've got a whole different fucking all sorts of different weaponry that you can talk. I don't mean literally. I mean
Verbal weaponry.
Nah, well, verbally, you know what I mean? You've got hundreds of fucking words that no cunt's heard before. What does that mean? I like it. I like his flow. That's all it takes. I like him. I want to know what he's saying.
That's it. That's it. And it does. It's like, see, we're lucky we speak English, but we speak a Scottish version of it, which isn't English. But we're lucky like that because it's like, see a lot of these old cultures, a lot of their old dialect has died out. We're
Mate,
lucky we've still got this.
That's my point. Don't let it die out. That's how it dies out, and it's got to die out faster now than these things did in the past over a long period of time, because now it's social media and everything's instant. So if a bunch of Waynes think it's actually, you don't do drill music or you don't do hip hop in your own accent, the only way to do it is if you're being English or being, and then it
I'm going to use my drill voice for this one.
starts bleeding into your culture and it starts taking over your culture, and the cunts don't think that shit's possible because Scotland, nobody cares about hip hop. These Waynes are different these days, man. They got a whole different kettle of fish that they're into, and their Waynes by the time we get 30 years down the line, they might all be sounding like fucking alright man them.
No mate, imagine that, what book called somebody your man them. I don't fucking night.
Sounds ridiculous, but it's no, mate. Out a period of time.
Get 20 years, it could be the norm.
That's what I'm saying. That's the one thing you want to avoid, like you said about other cultures. It happens, and it happens in a less obvious way. Now it's in your face, it's everywhere. It's boom, 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 boom on the phone. You know what I mean? So it can happen like that.
I know, it can happen blink an eye before you know it.
Yeah.
But let's hope it doesn't. But that's what we need. We need more people, see, like yourself. It'd be good to see, obviously, you ever think about getting into social media to put your stuff out, or is that just a pure no-no?
Absolutely not.
For the two of you, that's just definitely nah.
It's not a thing.
What about, see, do you use any, like would you use like somebody like a social media manager to promote like a Ducks page or that, or is that ever a thought, or is it just no social media whatsoever?
Oh, some cunt else.
Aye, so just no you personally, no you
just no
personally,
me,
but if
mate.
somebody was to, like, if he's had somebody in charge yet, like release the music.
And if it works for a good reason, then I have no problem with it being there. But I don't want any part of it.
Nah, just never been into it. It has got its downfalls, but I realise it's great for getting your stuff out there. It is, it's really good. It's got its uses, but it's try to take, you need to take the good with the bad, don't you, man? And the bad with the good. It's like there's a lot of shit and you're like, it's see Sam constantly, and you need to try and keep it consistent. See if you're about to build the following that, you need to be every day posting shit. I get times I'm like, I fucking put my phone away and I'm like, I need a break. There's times I'm staring at my phone that much, and see when I look at the real world, I'm like, whoa, it's a bit much to take in. I'm like, oh, for fuck, that's why I've got new glasses, man. My eyesight's gone to fuck.
The world has blinded me.
I get it, but for promotion, but mate, I totally get it. If that's your bread and butter, 100%. You know what I mean? So, but it's just, I couldn't.
What is it about it?
God's honest truth.
Aye.
I don't give a fuck what cunts are up to, and I'm not telling them what I'm up to.
It's a fair point.
Bottom line. You go and you'll see everybody else. Fuck everybody else.
See me, I'm
Know what
kind of
I
like
mean?
that to a degree. Like, I'm no tell you what I used to not tell you what I'm having for my dinner, but I get sponsored by a meal prep company, MK. So now I need to tell them what I'm having for dinner.
Mate, that's fucking brilliant. Normally I wouldn't tell you, but I need to, I'm under contract. I mean, fuck the system.
But before I was like, I fucking take photos of your dinner, I don't give a fuck, but I get my dinners for nothing, so why not? But it's like, I'll not post my dirty laundry. A lot of it, I'm guilty at some time.
Unless you
Depends.
get a laundry sponsor.
Laundry sponsor, I need it. My wash machine's a piece of shit. If you've got a
Fucking-
wash machine or you want to do my washing, fucking get in touch. Let's do business.
Daz or whoever's still doing the fucking detergent, get in touch.
Oh,
know
no,
what I
Daz,
mean?
man. I fucking, last time I got I broke out in a rash.
Oh, really?
Aye, so Persil or any cunt, or even the fucking Linthouse garage with the big tumble dryers, I don't give a fuck, don't I mean? I'll support local businesses.
A few freebies and we're good.
Local businesses and local drug dealers, that's the only people I'll support.
Fucking right.
But, what was I going to say there? But aye, with social media, I find myself more and more, I put more of myself out, but it's because people are investing in what I'm doing, that kind of stuff. And I was reading a book in the jail, and it was, see, you know Eddie Hearn, boxing promoter?
Yeah.
He wrote a book called The 12 Rounds of Success. I thought it was an autobiography, wasn't it? It was kind of touched on his life, but every chapter was like around to success. It's like a touchstone, he's a boxing promoter, so 12 Rounds of Success. And what he says in it is like, sell the narrative. Like, tell people what's going on behind the scenes because they invest in it, they buy into it. So that's how, like, now I'm more. Before I was just kind of, I'd write mad stupid one-liners or mad Chuck Norris jokes about myself online. That was the most you get out of me. Like, if people what read my social media and met me, like, a few cunts were like, you're totally different to how I thought you'd be.
But for a start, you're not Chuck Norris.
Aye, no, what I would change it, I wouldn't say Chuck Norris, I'd say Big 50. So, like, fucking, only reason Big 50 wears a balaclava, because you've seen it was him, you'd run faster. That kind of patter, and all that shit. And,
yeah.
But now I'm at a point, right, I'll tell cunts what I'm doing, and I'll do a podcast, I'll talk about my personal life, because people do follow my stuff, so, and they ain't getting better, and it does, and it gives people something to relate to. I think some people, you can put somebody in a pedestal, watching on social media, but see if you sit down and actually talk like that as you are the person, it's like people buy into you, then, and it gives them something to relate to, it gives them, a lot of people, I'm probably saying shit then shit a lot of people think and do, but they've just not got the confidence to put it out there.
Commitments, yeah.
Exactly. So it does a lot. So now I've started doing it, but I do totally understand it. Sometimes
Don't get me wrong, but I do that in music. So I'm not against doing it, I'm just against doing it online.
I just do it another way.
And I realise that other people need to put it online for me to get it out to where they want to get it to, and that's all fine with me, you know what I mean? It's just personally, I just have no interest. My mate had a fucking mate, we stayed with Stu and Kai, two mates, internet wizards, right? You walk in the house and who's providing the internet today, and he's like, oh, the Armenians. I'm like, fucking hell.
And what was he up to?
Oh, fucking don't even want to know, mate.
Oh, was he fucking like hooking up to other cunts' Wi-Fi and shit?
Mate, I don't even want to know what these cunts were. It's the first I'm usually in a house where you go, the door might get in. In here, you're up 3 stories and you're going, the window might get in. Like the fucking SAS or something like these cunts are up to.
Oh, really?
All they're doing's pushing buttons and it's probably dodgier than it never, know what I mean? So I didn't even want to know. But that was. This is at a time 10 years ago when I'm fucking green as grass when it comes to any internet, anything today with that. I couldn't spell fucking YouTube at the time. So one of them had wrote, I think it was a piece about his mate that had died that used to be in a band with. Right. And he's like, I want you to read this and tell me what you think. I went, aye, of course. But it's on a computer on Facebook, and I've never seen Facebook before. So my other mate's laughing, going, can't believe we've got you looking at Facebook. And I'm like, aye, fuck off, I'm reading the article and that's it. So I've read the article, and just for a laugh, he went, I'll go on, just for a fucking laugh, just to keep me happy. Go on, he just scrolled down so as I can say I've saw you on, and I went, right, no bother. Swear to God, the next fucking thing below the article he had wrote was it some a meme thing, and it's a highway in America, and it says like life is a road, but as long as you keep your feet in the ground. I get that, the fuck away from me, man. The two of them just burst out laughing. I was like, that's fucking poison, get it the fuck away from me. So that's my extent of looking at any social media was that, know what I mean? So,
that was enough for you, man. What about you, Lewis? Have you ever got as far as scrolling down Facebook?
I've seen it. I've had looks.
You've seen it for a distance.
But again, that's how I know it's not for me.
See, I'd probably, there's times I'm like that. See, if I wasn't at a point now, well, if I was to patch social media, I would be doing myself a disservice, because a lot of my shit is on social media. It's all social media for me. So there's times I'm like, fuck all this shit. It gets brain numb at times, but now I just try and give myself a wee break in that fit. Because there's some people that can go like my pal Ravi's fucking day in, day out facing his phone, and I'm like, I couldn't do that. I need to be in the real world. I need to be fucking like conversing with cunts and talking to people.
More technology, the less humanity, you know what I mean? That's 100% true. The more we rely on machines, the less we... In a house we cunts, we've got to order food online. Aye, really? Boom, I'm eating mine, theirs hasn't. I've finished mine, theirs hasn't even showed up yet. It's not all where it fucking seems to be. It's not all quick and easy, and a lot of things used to be better the way, and still are, if you can do them the old way. Like I walk into Sainsbury's, mate, and I want to use these stupid fucking machines.
Is that the self-checkout?
I'll be the pain in the arse in the shop that walks right to the back and sees the wee guy who's trying to stack his shelves to get hay milk, and I'm like, mate, gonna come service. Do you want fags? No, I want juice. Well, you can go to the machine. I fucking know that, but I'm not going to the machine.
Really? So you just like, if you're conscious objector against machinery?
Fuck machinery, man. But I say the feeling's mutual, it hates me. Know what I mean?
I suppose, mate.
But and do you know the thing is, I know we've been on that so much, mate, the main thing they knew is this thing, we've got to cancel this person and cancel that person, and everybody's scared of it. Cancel for what?
Yeah.
What are you getting cancelled for? Oh, you can't press these buttons anymore, you can't see certain things online anymore. Oh no, just like being in jail. No, it's fucking no. You know what I mean?
I suppose that's when it gets to that point. See, when your stuff is what, or social media, see if you do get taken off it is, it's like removing a limb for some people. But I was taught about this on my, see, when I was doing the podcast earlier on, just me and myself talking, it was fucking, I was taught about cancel culture and all that shit, and it's a fucking bully culture. It's a rise. I think obviously there's some cunts that deserve to get fucking outed and shit like that, but a lot of cunts are getting cancelled because they called somebody a wanker fucking 20 years ago or some shit like that, and it's like...
Probably the one that invented the law. That's what I think's funny. All these cunts are like, yeah, do this cunt. These people don't deserve second chances. These people are evil. Here's a video of you doing 10 times worse. Explain yourself. Oh, I'm changed, but I'm a changed person. I used to be like, but now so what you're saying is you're capable of being 100% wrong about the thing you claim to care the most about. What if you're wrong again? I've not been wrong. I feel the same way I felt 20 years ago. No, but you're telling me you're wrong. Like, I used to be the worst person in the world. Now I'm the best person in the world. Oh, really? It's a bit of a change, is it no?
Oh, I know, man. Social justice warriors, man. That's the other thing. That's what you'll know miss with. So it's cunts in social media. It's like they fucking... It's as if they're fucking just climbed down for heaven just to fucking right the world drawings, you know what I mean? And then look at good Facebook, I've God to fucking lambast cunts in the comment section. It's a fucking, it's sometimes you're like, shut the fuck up, man.
I know.
But I feel your pain. But aye, make sure you like and follow my Facebook.
Oh, aye, of course.
Aye, like, follow, like, subscribe. Like, subscribe and don't get wide. But aye, if you get in and you want to promote any shows coming up, you anything like that.
I think your phone's done another thing.
Yeah, what's it doing?
I don't know, it just appears to not be doing something that seems to...
iPhone storage full, for fuck's sake.
That'll be for why. I think it just done it just now though, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Right. I'm still going. Anything you want to promote?
To make it easy, no. We're alright, man.
Right, chips, that was Mog and Lewis. Like, subscribe, don't get wide.
Premeditated.